Stocks nicely higher here to start this morning as we get a nice boost from semiconductors right across the board. We're seeing big time gains this morning for not only the semiconductor index, but tech stocks. The Nasdaq 0.8% to the upside on the back of this headline this morning. Yeah, NVIDIA with a huge shock here. $5 billion investment going into Intel comes out of nowhere at $23.28 per share. Had PayPal up here this morning. Deal with Google we'll talk about. That, however, is what Intel is looking like currently. Yeah, they got long $23.28 per share. We're trading $32.18 right now for Intel. So all kinds of movement in the semiconductor group as a result. AMD down more than 5% at one point. The only one kind of left out of this party, it seems. But overall, the Nasdaq catching a nice gain as a result of this. Just quick update here. We did get some data points coming through there at 8:30. Initial jobless claims. One of those, 231,000 versus 250,000. Continuing claims, 1.92 versus 1.94. Slight downtick there for continuing claims. Fully fed business conditions, 31.5. 25 was the prior reading. So a nice uptick on that number. Coming up at 10 o'clock this morning, the Conference Board's leading index for August on a month-over-month basis. We'll also get natural gas data as well. What a move here out of nowhere for not only Intel, but NVIDIA liking this as well.
Yeah, this is a good look, Brendo. A nice collaboration between the two American companies. There's going to be a press conference, a joint press conference today at 1 o'clock with Lip Bhutan and the CEO of Intel and the CEO of NVIDIA, Jensen Huang, of course. We'll be covering that for you guys on the midday show. That's around 1 o'clock Eastern time. There's a whole lot to talk about. Obviously, NVIDIA and Intel, the biggest stories. Meta with their Connect event keynote coming out today, I believe, at 10 a.m. Pacific. But we got all sorts of product releases from Meta yesterday. We'll be getting to those, Brendo. As you mentioned, Google also in focus. The Chinese Regulatory Authority not investigating the anti-competitive practices anymore. And then IonQ with a government deal was already up big yesterday, Brendo, moving nicely. And as well as Reddit, there's a whole lot to talk about today.
So a lot of people talking about this NVIDIA Intel agreement here this morning. Bloomberg this morning basically coming right out and saying, is this a deal between Jensen and Intel, or is this a deal between Jensen and the White House? And more specifically, is this NVIDIA paying $5 billion to get sales back on the table for China?
It feels that way. You can't really untwine these two things, Brendo, especially with the ownership interest that the U.S. took in Intel. It obviously has a vested interest for it to perform better. What better way than to kind of collab with the king of semiconductors, at least in the AI space at the moment, Brendo. So you got to like it, but I'm all ears for that 1 p.m. press conference.
Yeah, we'll see how they spin this whole story coming up this afternoon. We'll cover that for you. Here's PayPal, as I mentioned. Just about to take out the highs here, up big time as well, coming back to $70.50, teaming up with Google on the payment side as well. All kinds of stuff to look at today, guys. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I mean, all kinds of stuff is an understatement. Like
we talked about PayPal yesterday. I mean, I even called up the PE for everybody.
Didn't even mention Novo Nordisk's bottom that we talked about yesterday. That's up 7% today. So Novo catching a bit of a bit.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, Randy. We know I got two.
BBA.
Don't forget the strays, though. A lot of people have asked why AMD's down. Well,
because they suck.
At the end of the day, collaboration with the data center collaboration with NVIDIA and Intel is going to weigh on this stock, right? So that's the reason, in theory, of course, why AMD is going to be down when more or less everything is up today. Like, let's be real. I don't see much. There's not a lot of weakness in here. Like, unless you were like RCAT that did an offering last night, even bullish reported. It's like we're not even. Bullish reported last night. They actually beat. Made with the actual positive EPS. It was expecting a small loss, and they beat. They're up 8 points today. So pretty much everything is running, but the volume on Intel, over 60 million shares and gone. I mean, Open Doors up a couple of points. Like pretty much, it's an across the board. Unless you woke up with an AMD shareholder, you got to be pretty happy with this rally. So yeah, like Palantir as well. We're talking about their UK defense expansion. That was news in the afternoon. They're again making another gap to the upside. It's just across the board looking pretty long and strong, again, with the exception of AMD.
Look, yesterday I said, Nasdaq, you could wake up today. We could see a 2% move. You're halfway there already, so I think that's pretty good. Yesterday we talked about PayPal. We even went over what the PE was. There it is today, up another 2.5%. Obviously, nobody can predict what that Intel move was going to be, but it still was what it was, up to $32. That's great. I will be selling the majority of my Intel right there, almost up 50%, or almost up 100% right now off of those lows. So that's absolutely amazing right there. Loving NVIDIA, obviously, today as well. We talked about maybe trying to pick some of that up, but it only got as low as 169 there yesterday. Nice move higher. I think this is actually a huge win for NVIDIA as it gets them into the PC market. So I got a new Green Bay hat here from my brother. This is the new official sidelines hat right there for Green Bay. We're ready to go. Yeah, all is well over here, man. Yeah, how was your night? It wasn't a pretty nice night. I think it was good weather. Everything was pretty
we just had swimming, man. How was the burger?
Yeah, you had swimming. Oh, yeah. The total bill for 5 of us was $108 or something like that with tip and everything included.
Not
so it was pretty reasonable there. So we were very, very happy with it. And the kids got poutine as well. So they got over there. Yeah, we don't eat like very kings Canadian. Like Joe over there. Yeah, the combos came with poutine, so I didn't get that. I just got normal fries and a cheeseburger, but it was nice. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, look, a Bitcoin also, right? I mean, I looked at my crypto account. I actually opened it up today. It was at all-time highs, so I was really happy with that one. Solana is actually,
I was gonna say Solana.
Yeah, Solana and Ripple are the ones. I'm actually in these just as much as I'm in everything else. And my least one is Ethereum. So, but yeah, Ripple right there. We just bought at 280 last week, so it's at 312. So that's already 15% move there, which would put Ethereum over $5,000 if it did that, right? So there's Solana again, you guys. We bought that at 200 and thought we made a mistake. Maybe it's at 250 right now. Absolutely huge. Dogecoin, we don't own any of that. And then my guy over here, Cardano, up another 5% as well. So. Yeah, not feeling well is not going to keep me away from these markets, but we're here today. We're doing good. We'll see if we are going to be patient zero here or not, but we're ready to go, man. It's NVIDIA 175 and change. Very, very excited about it. So, yeah, I don't know. It's going to keep on going, keep on going.
You know it's going to be a good day when pretty much you got an everything rally.
Yes.
And I can already call the Bills are going to win by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's only 11.5, the spread.
What? I thought it was 13.
Oh, did it move to 13? Maybe it did. Yeah.
Oh, I could be wrong. We need to figure out how many times we're picking the Bills. I would go all 12, but obviously I'm a little bit biased.
Yeah, I don't think you ever want to go all 12 into Survivor Pool, but thank you, Randy, and thank you to Control-Alt-Escape. What happens if I push Control-Alt-Escape?
I have no
right here. Thanks to you guys for amazing insight. You're welcome. Special thanks to Sean. Okay, who is that guy? Our things aren't working. I didn't see that on the screen.
What?
It's funny. I hear it, but I don't see the.
Which thing?
Let me see. Does this show up?
Oh, the animations.
The animations aren't up. Oh, there it is. Okay, thanks. There we go. Okay, special thanks to Sean for catching that long on the Apple dip yesterday. I wouldn't have caught it otherwise. Here's coffee on you. Thank you so much for that one. That is. There we go, Control and Escape. I mean, I'm just glad that you're able to catch that. I mean, we sit here and we put on some trades and hope that you guys are able to, make a little bit off those. So, yeah, there it is, man. Tesla up to 430 as well. So we're looking everywhere here today. Thanks, Randy, for the coffee, and thank you, Control-Alt-Escape, for the coffee money. So that's good. But yeah, we're excited.
I'm not testing that key combination.
No, I don't know. I don't know what. I don't want to do it right. I'll do it.
You never know with Windows.
Control-Alt-Escape.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing.
Control-Alt-Escape.
Oasis. Went to see their concert.
Gallery
It was absolutely amazing. I haven't heard one negative thing about that concert. I mean, apparently did they play the Rose Bowl or something? I mean, it was an absolutely incredible time here in Toronto. So we're really happy about everything. We're off to Sudbury this weekend for some more hockey, so that should be fun. But we're in tomorrow. So, all right, 8:40. I don't know if we have a guest or not, but let's go back over to the desk.
Yeah, we're going to try and connect with Luis Barbado over in Spain once again this morning. On Oasis, I don't know if you ventured down to Queen Street. This is a couple of weeks ago when that concert was in town, but they had a pop-up store, like a merch, I guess, pop-up store, Queen West of Spadina, in the middle of Queen West. The block, it was two and a half blocks worth of a lineup at 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning when I drove by.
Torontonians love lining up, don't they, Brenda?
It was amazing, and I think it didn't even open until lunchtime or so. But it was like 2.5 blocks worth of lineup for Oasis merch when that concert was in town. It was crazy. Here's the overall market right now. I mean, we might as well touch on the Fed here. It was a bit of a nothing burger, I guess, as of yesterday. The one thing I didn't watch the entire press conference, but the one thing I did take away from it was his tone changed. His tone was definitely, I do not care about this whatsoever anymore. Like the answers were very short to the point. He was almost, it almost seemed like he was in a bit of a bad mood.
Well, yeah, he's got one foot out the door, Brendo. We're counting the days till May until he's out. But really what stood out to me, Brendo, was the two Trump appointees. I'm not talking about Stephen Moran or Miran, however it's pronounced. Both of them voted for quarter-point basis cuts, and both of them are auditioning to be the Fed chair. So there was only one person who voted for 50, and that was the new appointee. So I kind of got the feeling that the Fed independence is not dead. If they had been auditioning, or we know they are auditioning for that role, why didn't they vote for 50, right? To kind of just get under, or to get under Donald Trump's kind of good graces. So to me, it was interesting how they voted. Number two, kind of the admitting that the Fed is not within consensus at the moment. There are varying ideas, and you saw that in the dot plot. You saw that in how many different cuts forecasting in the rest of the year. So you kind of feel that there's no consensus, but possibly a good thing because the economic conditions maybe don't warrant consensus at the moment.
No, and the negative reaction from the market coming on the back of that, a reduction in how many cuts coming from the Fed over the next 12 months or so. Back and forth action though yesterday is a 15-minute chart of the Nasdaq, but back and forth action, we end the day back to basically where the market started, uneventful. If you zoom out, guys, a bit of a nothing burger.
Well, you could make the argument that overall it was a nothing burger. I think it was pretty instructive in terms of at least telling us, where the strength was going to lie, because you saw like a very big difference between names that kind of just bounced off of that initial drop and the ones that were able to break out, like things like Palantir, which was able to break out, and others which were not looking as strong. But we get a little bit of clarity, and it wasn't that good. 88%. And then now 78%. Whoops, let's see the bottom and down in there to get down another couple of cuts, and that crept up from yesterday. Although it wasn't without, as you said, a little bit of not controversy, but it was 10-9. Really, when you're looking at that 2 cuts versus 1 cut for the rest of the year, like that's relatively close. I think the market ultimately. It just goes back to when it's a nothing burger, you revert back to what you were doing. And reverting back was just, hey, we've had pretty good earnings season, last I checked. I mean, not every single stock has reacted initially like it was good, like it showed like an Amazon or something like that. But it doesn't really matter. You're buying dips and the market is continuing to go higher. So you go back to what we were doing before, your regularly scheduled programming, which is our bull market. So yeah, nothing burger. And obviously, the gap up tonight or gap up overnight has a lot to do with the strength of NVIDIA and this Intel deal. And some exuberance, I think, just comes with the fact that we didn't get the boat rocked. And if you don't rock the boat, the market goes up. That's why we buy and hold. Simple as that.
Yeah, the only guy that dissented was that Stephen Moran, which is the only reason he's in there, right? So he's just going to keep on doing that same old stuff. So I don't really take what he says for worth anything anyways. But there's that Apple long right there that we had. So yeah, I mean, it was a pretty overall decent day. I mean, if you're looking at the futures yesterday and the movements that it had, I mean, it ended the day at highs, made back everything, got right to where we were. It was a relatively uneventful day overall, but that hour and a half, there was a monster bottom made in there. We caught it. We banked on that, and I think that's what we're trying to do here as traders, right, is make money. So it was a great Fed moment. It was an absolutely money-making opportunity. And then even when we left yesterday, I think it was, 350 or something, I said, let's look for this gap up tomorrow in the NASDAQ, and then there's the gap up. So I think Fed gave you absolutely everything you needed and more there yesterday. So yeah, like Neil said, continue the bull run, and it's here, and it's strong, and it's not hard to see. I mean, the market continues I don't know why it's stuck on Apple there. The market and the TQs continue to print all-time highs. You come in today, day after Fed, all-time highs with conviction as well. So yeah, I mean, I think it was perfect. And like I said, the only person in there rattling the cage is there to do that job. And he did it, and it didn't matter. Now we'll wait to see what happens. Today we got another IPO. Yesterday we made some money, both long. I mean, we showed our worth yesterday, man. We made money long and short right there on StubHub yesterday. And I think today it's going to be a short again. I mean, we hit the long there, we hit the short here, and covered it at the close. So, I mean, it was a great run for StubHub early, went up $1 and change, and then whoosh, all the way back down into the downside, and now looking to get even lower right here. And we have a new IPO today that I will not be participating in. It is called Netscope.
Yeah.
So NTSK, yes, cybersecurity. But you know,
if you'd heard of it before this week, then congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, it might be okay. I just have things to do.
It's a decent size.
Yeah,
it's almost $1 billion. So it's not like it's a bad size.
No, it might be the best one yet. I'm just not planning on being here.
Not excited.
But you know, look at PanW. Talk about cybersecurity. You know, like when we're buying this name on misses, I mean, let's go like all the way back up there to the top side again. So it's like the portfolio right now is just pumping in all ways, right? We had yesterday, ciao to Jimmy Kimmel there with getting a little bit too political, my guy. His fight there with Donald Trump finally coming to an end, and he gets the lower end of the stick of it. But at the end of the day, this guy's still going to get paid. So, I mean, he's going to be fine. Colbert left. He got a huge deal with Netflix. So, I mean, Disney, I see some people in the chat talking about maybe shorting Disney. I don't know if that's the thing to do. I mean, they got rid of Kimmel. So I think that's like, that helps that side, thinking that he was potentially a little too much for you know, the left versus right when he has his sort of monologues. I stopped watching Kimmel a hell of a long time ago. So I used to be the only one I watched, and then I stopped. So I don't. Late night has really gotten bad, and I watch Colbert still. So I think that's kind of funny.
I haven't watched late night in decades. It's just
you haven't been up that late in decades.
Oh, even when I did.
No, but I mean,
even
the last
when I did,
decade, probably. Since Aaron's
I have. Well, no, before Aaron was born. In the first, ever since she was born. But like, it's just, I find it useless, to be honest. It's just not a huge fan. Like I used to like. It
used to be funny.
It used to be. That's what I'm saying. It used to be funny. Like I would always just catch highlights of everything in the morning because I'm a morning person. But even then, I just never found it all that funny. But in terms of the Disney thing, I don't like Disney. Disney's not moving right now. So I think shorting Disney for any reason, we always take it, don't short boring stocks or don't trade something that's not moving. Disney is flat out just one of the more sideways stocks in the last month. So I think it's a complete nothing burger, and it's not reacting on this. So you don't short boring stocks. I don't think you don't trade boring stocks either. I think it's exactly what Disney is at this point. I think we are supposed to have, I don't know if we're ready for Luis, but let's at least go back to the desk in here. Oh, no, we're going to Joe. Is it upgrades and downgrades time? Okay.
All right, guys, happy Thursday and welcome to Trader TV Live. I hope everyone's having a fantastic morning. A lot moving. We had FOMC yesterday, so let's get right into it, guys. All right, so at the top of the list, we have National Bank Holdings by Hove Group, putting that price target up to $46. And then second in line here, we have CrowdStrike by BMO Capital with that price target raised to $500. Yes, up nice on the day as well, too. Almost 5%. Now, Chimera Therapeutics getting it price target raised to $70 by H.C. Wainwright. And then MongoDB by BMO Capital getting that price target raised to $365. Now, Bank of America downgrading Cracker Barrel, putting that price target a little bit lower to $42. And then Dropbox by UBS Group, price target lowered to $27. And then Innovage, also by JPM, getting that price target lowered to $5. And Target by Wolfe Research, getting that target lowered to $80. Now, as for options activity, guys, Apple at the top of the list here, put in some volume and still some open interest sitting at that 240 strike price, and that's this week's expiration cycle. But one thing that I wanted us to focus on is look at the volume that Open Door put in last night. or during yesterday's session, 185,000 contracts at that $10 strike price. So that open interest, which is around 108,000, is going to roll over to today's session, but look out for that volume at that specific level. Once again, expiration this Friday. Now, as for the SPY, the volume that it put in at 660 with today's expiration, 113,000 contracts closed at that specific strike price. Not too much open interest, but look for the volume to increase on that specific strike. 4,700 current open contracts on the SPY, guys.
Good look there for sure. And obviously, I know people are going to be interested in open lots of option players there. There was some joke stuff from Shkreli that I thought was funny on Twitter. Because like I think he posted something yesterday at the close about, don't make fun of me if my position is out of the money. It's not nice and it's inappropriate or something. But he was clearly being like facetious. Like,
right, I think really care about it.
No, but it's like he was poking, like just having fun with himself, which I thought was kind of cool. It's like, yeah, whatever. Like your short opening is going against you, but at least you can have a sense of humor about it. Right. Which you know what? I have a different. I like that. I respect that. At least I think he was joking. I don't think he was being serious about it's inappropriate to make fun of me if I'm losing money. I think he was just having fun. But CrowdStrike got an upgrade, but there was like 4 other upgrades for CrowdStrike too. They got KeyBank, they got Barclays, Rosenblatt, Morgan Stanley, and all based on an update with their AI initiative. So you were just talking about the cybersecurity there, Sean, and
well, it's because that Netscope. I mean, that could have something to do with it too.
Well, I mean, you throw it in there too. Like you got IPO for Netscope, but you just have a lot going on, and CrowdStrike is on the verge of breaking out. Now, the volume for a day trade not always going to be the best, but this is a stock that, let's be frank, it's going back to the high. That is a very clean trend reverse. Hold a 2, hold a 50. Now you get all the upgrades coming in after the fact. I don't know if this ends up being the day trade, but if there's any chance that this does get you anywhere closer to that 450, which I don't think is going to be the case, you always got to dip buy these when they get to the 200-period moving average. You pick it and grip it. Like if you like to dip buy PanW, you buy that one. If you like to dip buy CrowdStrike, you bought that one. If you wanted to dip buy Fortinet after their earnings because you feel they got punished, then that probably worked out for you too. But CrowdStrike looks like it's headed right back into that high. So many downtrends broken in the last week. And they're not big downtrends, just like slight downtrends, and now we just go back to these all-time highs. So, good luck on CrowdStrike. And Harmon in the chat saying Lululemon is ripping. I tried to look to see if there was a reason. Like maybe Lululemon's just up 4% but I couldn't find a story on this one. So might just be. I mean, if you're going up on nothing, that's good, but I'm going to keep hunting. Like, usually there's something going on, like maybe someone gave some kind of an upgrade, but even Lulu's looking like it is finally catching a bit of a bit, but it's done this before. Like, I know it's, like CrowdStrike's chart looks fantastic. Lulu's chart still looks kind of, what's a good word to say this? Kind of like the Miami offense tonight.
Oh, man.
I'm going to get them all in.
You really hate.
It's not really hate. Miami. I'm just expecting 42 to 13 or something.
Yeah, and then now you got Tyrod Taylor, like is the Jets quarterback. Like that division is just a hot mess.
Hey, I like. We're
lucky that we have the Bears and everything in ours. That's
Tyrod Taylor.
So do I. I don't mind him, but I mean, come on, starting NFL quarterback. This guy's not that. Okay, so hold on. I'm trying to accept some Maple Leaf tickets up in here. So, I have to scroll to each tab and do this. All right. Okay, so. What were we talking about? Cybersecurity and things like that. Look, I mean, I recently, for Lululemon, I mean, not a great quarter for sure. I mean, we talked about that, but we actually bought, we talked about buying a little bit more there on the dip. Okay. And, we bought before, that was at $2, and then it went whoosh to the downside, got a little bit more. It's nice that we're starting to finally get back there to the upside. I think we might be finally taking that out right now around 170, 171 there for Lululemon. So I feel like we might be on the mend back to the upside, but that was a very, very bad look. Intel, though, continues to now up 30% right here and going higher. I will be clearing out of some of these, and they're not even bags. I mean, we were lucky enough to buy at 19, man. We didn't get involved in, I looked at the account today, it was like 1980 something. And we had sort of pushed out that there was these bottoms in here. Now, every single time we had reached the bottom, we had made moves back higher and then came back in. It was like 4 or 5 times where we hit that bottom right there from a horrible move from 35 down into 19, back up to 26, back down to 19, back to 26, 28, back to 19, back again, back down. Here we go, boom. So now you finally get that move to the high side. I think this is a great deal for NVIDIA. I think it's a great deal for Intel, giving them a little bit of a lifeline there, but NVIDIA now getting into that PC game, I think that's going to be a good one. And plus, you know, the more you please the current administration, the better it is. So right there, huge move to the upside now for Intel. I think it's a little silly not to trim something out there, but we're going to get over all of this in just a couple minutes as we go through our watch list. Make sure you do scan that QR code, but also go into the link in the description, get our watch list immediately, because that's a hot fire every single day, putting a lot of work into that. So thanks, Sharif, and everybody that participates at DARA in building that. Thanks, Joe, for reading the upgrades and downgrades there for us and giving us some ideas there. He mentioned Open Door. I didn't look at Open Door yet today. They did have a huge move, obviously, yesterday, making it right back up to their highs one more time, looking to break out today through $11. I think that's the only trade. Just wait for 11 to break, or you got to try to play this dip into 9,950 again. So I think either wait for that break there or play the dip into 9 to 950. But my army is strong again here today. Shout out to the Big Bearites that are out there right now, up another 3%. What a move off of $5. I know there's some people that got in around 5. That's a good one. And I even messaged this morning. I was like, guys, it's up to 650 right now. This is a spot for me to get out. So 650, we're going to get some more out. We're long at 4. We're going to get 650. I told you this is what we did last time. 650, 750, 850. That's the plan for Big Bear AI. And then hopefully you have 30% or so left for the break of 10. So really like Big Bear AI. You're one story away from this thing absolutely mooning. So we like that name. Over 20% short float right into here. So all good, man. And let's just keep on moving to the upside. Like I said, crypto's been really hot. We looked at that yesterday. It actually had to move down during that overall Nasdaq pull and made its way back up. The dollar was ripping as well. All the quantum names are hot fire as well. You got this Nectar stock.
I'm trying to figure out what this thing is. Like this Nectar stock.
Crazy, right?
Nectar Therapeutics announced data from phase 2. And I'm not even trying to
what?
I don't know, like some phase 2 drug, yada stuff.
Okay.
But look, what's crazy about it is the volume. Yeah, I saw the spike and I saw the news. I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. 40,000 volume, you got a hard pass. That's why you can trade things like Open Door, but you're not trading. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say you're not. You can probably swing the stock, but 40,000 in volume doesn't make it interesting at all. I think if you're looking for the gap, as you said, quantum in there, IonQ trying to make a continuation. There was an MOU from the Department of Energy. And that was a spike in the afternoon. We mentioned this in the aftermarket show, but it's not doing a very good job of holding on to it yet. But the one I'm looking at is actually Rigetti today. The reason I like Rigetti is Rigetti's the one that just yesterday eked out that all-time high breakout. So it broke out the all-time high yesterday. So I want to play the continuation in Rigetti. I mean, it could get all the way back. That prior all-time high was 21.5, so you could easily pull back into the 215 and the 22 area for some dips prior close, and then the prior high. Those are usually the places I'm going to like it. Or we just play the breakout. For now, it looks like it's going to be the dip buy. But I like Rigetti in the quantum space because it's the one to make a fresh 52-week high just late yesterday. It didn't actually make that breakout until after the Fed. Like, it made that push to the all-time high after the Fed came out. So, yep, lots to cover. Obviously, we're going to get into the watch list, which is pretty action-packed for an end of earnings season. Like, it's not heavy in earnings, but we still have so many names.
There's no
and
more
so many
earnings. Today we have FedEx tonight.
And and next week we get Micron, but there's still a few out there. Bullish last night was okay, and
yeah, that was a surprise. I didn't. Didn't they put up a profit? Yeah.
Yeah, they had an EPS.
I read it. Their following year, we read that was like minus $3.28 or something, and then we got that question yesterday, and I was like, you might as well just wait until earnings season, and you get one report out of the way, and there it goes, man. Yeah, nicely done there, up on bullish. So you know what I wonder about maybe now Gemini. Gemini might catch a little bit of a bid here. Some of those other crypto spaces is what's all good right now. So yeah, 25.50 right here. It's almost 9 o'clock. So we won't have Luis today, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. We've still got our watches we're going to go over, and it, as Sharif had started the show with, it's packed. So we've got lots of stuff to talk about. No matter what the space is you're looking at, there's something for you here today. The Nasdaq though, pulling back a little bit right now, man. I mean, that's a decent move down right now. Down 0.2. The highest we were at was 1.1 is what I saw. And there's a move down now on the NQ. I'm not hearing anything, but I think this is just ebbs and flows here. As some people would, some people wanted more of a cut there, and I don't. We saw that it was only 4% of a chance, but I think the dot plot is there. That Stephen Moran is the only one that put that dot plot way lower at 2.75%. So he's there collecting those checks, I'm sure, from the president to make sure he's doing this kind of stuff. Right here, NVIDIA breaking below 175 now. So yeah, just interesting. Let's go back over the desk and figure out what the boys are up to.
Keep an eye on Uber here. Uber got sold off pretty hard yesterday on that Lyft headline, if you missed it. Lyft going into Nashville with Waymo was up big time, but pretty heavy volume to the downside here for Uber yesterday. I saw Dara was at the All In Summit and is on. There's a video of their conversation. Looking forward to checking that out. But Lyft itself actually held up pretty nicely after that move yesterday. Gave back, I don't know, let's call it 50% of that move. We're back to $23 here.
Hey, you got to like this report, Brendo Autonomy, especially. I was looking at a chart comparing Lyft and Uber. Lyft definitely feels like it has potentially more upside, about 150% up over the last 2 years. Uber about 100%. So outperforming over the last little while. Obviously, Uber still best in class. We'll keep an eye out on that. Should we have a look at the futures?
Yeah, go for it.
Let's go. All right, 66.58, guys. That's where we closed out yesterday on the ES December contract. We're on that new contract as the September contract expires on Friday, and we're doing more volume on the December one now. So 66.58, the yesterday's close. The overnight high 66.64. So we're already above as our low above the closing print yesterday. We just lost, as Sean mentioned, the market pulling back. We just lost 6,700. So what we'll do is we'll use the overnight low 66.64 as our support level if we continue bleeding below 6,700. If we clear 6,700, the overnight high, 67.19, we'll say 67.25, Brendo, as resistance.
As we mentioned, lots to understand here as we get going this morning. Last 30 minutes before the open, just be aware Trump is still speaking over in the UK here this morning. The market not really reacting to that, but we'll keep an eye out for any headlines that really come through. We are continuing downside here for the overall market. That's the link for the watch list. If you haven't done so, make sure you grab that. It's absolutely free every single day. Top of everyone's mind, I think, this morning is this NVIDIA Intel headline. That's what NVIDIA looks like on the back of this. Back to 175 here, trying to hold.
All right, it's $5 billion, Brendo, as you mentioned at the top of the show. That's how much NVIDIA is investing in Intel. They will co-develop. The collaboration is the objective of the collaboration is to co-develop data center and PC products. NVIDIA investing that $5 billion at $23.28 per share. CEO Jensen Huang called it a historic collaboration that fuses NVIDIA's AI and accelerated computing stack with Intel CPU and the x86 system. Of course, we're talking about that 2 nanometer process. The deal, of course, is subject to regulatory approval, but there's no indication as of yet whether NVIDIA will use Intel's foundries for its own chips. We know that the U.S. government owns about 10% of Intel now, having taken an interest in that. Intel shares a big, Brendo, after hitting decade lows earlier this year. And I want to mention Jensen Huang and Lip Bhutan, the CEO of Intel, will have a joint press conference at 1 o'clock. We'll be covering that hopefully on the midday show.
We'll get that rundown refreshed there. It's worth noting, I mentioned it earlier, but AMD, the only one really not invited to this party and looking like it this morning here, guys.
Yeah, when the competition teams up and collabs, and that's not going to be good for AMD. As far as the deal getting getting regulatory approval, I mean, this is kind of what the administration wants. So I find it hard to believe that it won't. That said, it would be true to say that it is, of course, still subject to regulatory approval. So for NVIDIA, is it pay to play? I don't see how this can be spent, regardless of what you think about this maybe giving them a better chance at a China chip deal. That's still a positive either way. Like, it's either just a positive on the basis of the collaboration and getting back and getting the PC PC move, but then if you get a China deal out of this, that's just like cherry on top. Like it's just a bonus if you're into cherries. I think they're good. But as far as NVIDIA is, this 175 that we just, I don't want to say we lost it, but we just came back underneath in the market, kind of pulling back a little bit here. That's a key price because the 50 period sits there at 75. That's where we closed on Tuesday, so it's a key close price. I think I'd be a little more bullish over that 175. I mean, otherwise, it's almost like you're waiting for some kind of a dip. Like this is the inflection point on NVIDIA. I do want to see what Intel is capable of up here. We've seen it go before where it has like 10 to 15%, or it'll have like say 10% and then go more, or 8% and then go more. But up over 30% here, there hasn't been a VWAP test. So until I see VWAP hold, like that's always the first place I want to look, because if you lose the volume weighted average price, I think it's an easy shot to 30. And if not, 28 being a key price level when you go back out on the daily charts. So it's got to be that VWAP hold. If it doesn't hold, I don't think this is one you want to fight at all. But yeah, NVIDIA 175, really crucial to hold that one at the open. If I don't see it hold, when I left, it's like you almost don't want to make notes after the Fed when we gap up like this. But like when we left, like my thought was, okay, if everything just sort of stays, NVIDIA, that double top is going to be clean. Like the key level was down here at 171.5. If we get down there, sure, that's a big if. I couldn't put that on the note because it's so unrealistic, I think, for us to drop over $3 at the open on NVIDIA. But it could happen. If it happens, then prior high, I guess, is in play too.
Look,
I just don't think it's happening.
Yeah, my level here on this sticky note is 172, so exactly that level. So this is what I'm going to be playing off of. I've done really well with NVIDIA. Let's see if we can do that. So a drop back in right here. I mean, the market's falling down. I think this is very possible that this does get in there. You're already off $1.50. So we've seen NVIDIA have moves right off the open like this. Like look at yesterday's opening move for NVIDIA, 173 down to 170. There's your $3 move right there in the first 10 minutes. So I'm thinking that we could get that again here today. So boom, right? Let's see if that happens. We're going to get that at 172 for NVIDIA. Your sticky note is almost ready, everybody. I just got to put it up and then we'll get that going. So that's what we're doing here. We're doing NVIDIA long today, and it's going to be at some point, it'll be in the account. Let's just see when. NVIDIA yesterday was the #1 P&L name yesterday, and it was because of the short. So we hit the short right there breaking, and then we reloaded the short right there on NVIDIA. So we were huge yesterday on it today. I don't see any reason why we can't do it again here today. Watch to see what happens today on NVIDIA, and we'll try to guide you to the right way. But I think we're both looking long, so that's nice. But I'm getting ready to post this up right now, so stay tuned for some trade ideas coming to @TraderTV. Sean on X.
To look at as far as the reaction for Meta coming off the event last night, we are actually downside here in a pretty good way. 775 trying to hold right now for support. You and I were just discussing the fact that if you go on social media, to me anyways, what I was seeing this morning was there was way more influencer type marketing involved in that event last night than I had seen in the past from Meta. To the tune of, 10 or so accounts that I follow personally on the fitness side of things who were not only at the event, but got hands-on, trials while they were at the event of some of these classes.
And I think that that's the best method. We always criticize LULU for not having enough of a social media presence. Well, he's taking advantage of his own networks, Brando, obviously Instagram, Facebook. So 4 major products I just want to bring your attention to. Obviously, the major one is those projection glasses. I forget what they're called, Horizon or something like that. They're going to be $7.99. They're going to be used with a neural band, an EMG wristband that interprets hand gestures. So that's how you'll be able to control it. So that's obviously going to be able to display things like watching videos, responding to text, and interacting with Meta AI. So those are the similar to the Orion glasses, a Hypernova, I think they're called. But there's also, as Brendan mentioned, something for athletes. They're called the Oakley Meta Vanguard Smart Glasses. Brendo, they're going to be about $500 US. They have 3K video capture, 9-hour battery life, and they're really here for high-intensity sports like biking and snowboarding. And then, yes, those Meta glasses that everybody's been using, well, they're going to get Gen 2 or version 2 of those, but they're going to be about $80 more expensive, boosting the price target, the price from $299 to $379 as a starting price, but they do improve battery life, Brando, 8 hours now, and you also can record in 3K video, so a nice look there. And last but not least, they're looking to launch a Horizon TV, so that's going to work with the Meta Quest, so you're going to have like TV shows, sporting events, movies, all on the virtual reality. So they're not completely turning the page on VR headsets quite yet.
Yeah, the stock, I mean, having this event off market hours, I think there's less of a reaction here, guys, today.
If you pulled up Blue Ocean, it was basically just doing the afternoon range, like the late afternoon range, effectively. Like you pull up Blue Ocean and 781, which was resistance, like it actually just held that over and over again. And you got $3 or $4 is a nothing burger on this stock. Here, I'll just show you. Where is Meta on Blue Ocean? Like it just came to 781 to 777 to 81 to 77 to 81, and then we're sitting here diddling in the middle. And this one's a nothing burger for me. I thought it would have been a little more exciting if they'd heavily sold off the news, which I guess could happen, right? Like it's maybe we're waiting for the market to open and then Meta's gonna dip. But I kind of expected there would be a chance to get an Apple-like moment here where you would see maybe people aren't that impressed, and then you could catch the dip at the 50 period or like $750 or something. But that doesn't seem to be materializing on Meta. So I'm not going to be trading Meta. The event didn't change my mind at all about anything. I think you're going to get some adaptation, and you're probably going to sell some. But this is the kind of product that I think is, you know, it's not going to be big for them for a while. It's great that they're doing it, and I think, you know, Mark Zuckerberg understands that if they can get the next big device, that's huge with the platform that they have. So that's what they're building towards, and that's great, but I don't think this one moved the needle last night at all.
I haven't really looked at Meta today. There's been so many other things going on. So I know my kids want that new Oculus. He was talking about it last night. So that'll probably be in our house at some point this Christmas. So I think it's a good little look there. But as Neil said, if it didn't move the needle, there's just so much else to look at today. So for me on Meta, it's a pass for today. It doesn't seem like there was anything going on there. As expected, again, I'd rather just look at stocks that are moving around, and today Meta is not. So I'm going to pass on that, but I do think it's a long. We talked about their PE in and around 27, 28. Could work and is still a little higher than the market multiple. I just think the 50-period moving average, I don't really like what's happening right here, right now with the Nasdaq. So I'm gonna pass on stocks that I don't really have a great read on. So Meta's a pass for me.
1, 2, 3, 4, working on 5 days in a row here to the upside. Pretty good move. We're back to 430, 435 this morning. Comes into play at the top end, but I mean, there's nothing significant. There was that story yesterday. They're going to redesign door latches.
Yeah, there seems to be an issue with the Model Y specifically, Brendo, with that flush door latch. It's when there's an accident, people are having trouble getting out. Obviously, there is a manual one as well, but it's not readily visible. So yeah, the chief design officer at Tesla confirmed the company's considering a redesign of its electronic door handles, combining both manual and electronic releases into one system. This is as a result of the NHTSA investigating about 174,000 Model Y vehicles after reports that occupants, including children, were unable to exit the car due to electric lock failures. We've seen this on the news over here. There was a Tesla Model Y, specifically under the Gardner on the lakeshore, that collided straight into a big pillar, Brendo, a concrete pillar. They couldn't get out, especially the rear passengers. Somebody had to help them break the glass and then remove them for the car. So this is not something we haven't heard of.
The stock itself, if you go back to yesterday, one of the strongest on the rebound, guys. Heavy volume coming in late in the day for Tesla shares into the close.
Yeah, it was 100% in the bucket of the stocks that exceeded the bounce back to the highs. Right? Like you had some names which were able to bounce, and I mean, look, everything bounced. More or less. I don't know what didn't bounce in the afternoon, but not everything was able to sort of break away from where we were at 2 o'clock. Tesla is in that bucket, but I think it's a bit range bound up at these highs. When you look at the parabolic move that it's been on, the last couple of days have been a little bit more of a range type of situation. And I think it's pretty obvious to see the 20 to 21 area, like the prior resistance. Like we're breaking out like this. If we're not taking out tops, the standard is look for that prior resistance that can turn to support. And you had that Fed area at 420. And then the prior day, I think we closed at 420, around the 421. Like I think that's where you look for the dip buy. Even if it loses that, it was pretty clean off the 12 level as well. I just feel like more of an inside kind of day as opposed to breakouts here for Tesla. It needs to slow down after all of that exuberance, after the Elon Musk getting a lot of publicity out of his $1 billion purchase. Because I think that's a lot of what it was, just to get some attention out there.
Okay, Tesla. Yeah, look, I mean, when I first got my Tesla, like, I had no idea how to use the doors. They're really, really simple, man. There's an automatic unlock there. You don't have to use the mechanical there, but I don't have a Model Y. So I not enough of a story to do anything for me on that one. I do understand that opening the doors maybe from the outside might be a problem, as there's just that handle that you got to push. For those of you that are familiar with it, I mean, I see so many Teslas on the road. It's crazy. Right now, my car's downstairs charging as we speak, but yeah, I think what about 420? Like, this is a thing. It's having a move down. We already have 432. I don't think 420 plays today, but just looking at this, I kind of want to take all of this, like everything that happened yesterday, like around this time right there, as just whatever. The market, it's moving up and down when Powell's speaking. That has nothing to do with Tesla. This has to do with the market. So I'm not too worried about that. The levels that I was looking at, this is 420 right here is where we were before the announcement. And then you get bumped up. So we got to give some kind of credit to Tesla for moving higher in an up market. So maybe this is the spot right here, 424. So we topped out there at 424. We topped out there at 424. And then we held 424 in the aftermarket. But aftermarket's not enough volume to give me the go on that. So I'm going to pass right now on Tesla until we get into 424 and 425. And then at that point, we'll be able to see what exactly we're looking for in Tesla. And if it winds up holding that bottom, then go. I think I've made the most money on Tesla and NVIDIA and Palantir since we've, this whole year probably, right? So I think it's just about being patient, waiting to make sure we catch those bottoms. Love the stock, love to trade it, man. We've been absolutely destroying this stock since it broke this area right into here. So it's been a great bump up there for Tesla, and it's been a really boon to yield P&L. So it's been a good one, man. I love trading Tesla, and I think it'll be there today as well. So Tesla right now, 425. If we can get a dump into there, we'll do it, man, and we'll see what winds up happening here for TSLA.
Well, back to the upside. A couple of different catalysts here this morning for Alphabet shares. We're back to this pivot for the past couple of days here around 250, 251. More of a PayPal story maybe today than a Google story. We'll touch on the other headline here in a second, but a couple days in a row to the upside here for PYPL. We're back to 7050. They're going to team up Alphabet and PayPal on the payment side.
That looks good, Brendo. Yeah, especially with Apple Pay kind of hurting PayPal a little bit. Nice to see them creating a deal with Google. The other headline for Google is that China is dropping its antitrust probe into the company. The Chinese State Administration for Market Regulation, Brendo, has terminated its antitrust probe into Google. The investigation, which launched back in February, focused really on Google's Android operating system and the effects that it has on the Chinese phone makers such as Oppo and Xiaomi. Google obviously doesn't have a lot of services in China. They remain blocked there, but the company does generate revenue from ads and cloud services sold to Chinese firms like Temu and Shein, who want to advertise to North American and global users. So a bit of a presence there, but not officially official. Big
time levels coming into play on the resistance side of things here, guys. If you zoom out for PYPL, got to go back to the beginning of August now.
We talked about it yesterday. I mean, I called it up. I showed you where PayPal's PE was, and I said, like, I'm still long the name and probably should get longer. And I think today, with this move that the market confirming what we thought, I think it's a buy, to be honest with you. I still use PayPal. We know not all of us do, and I don't think it's, like, I spend way more money on Visa and all that kind of stuff. Like, don't get me started. But that break right there of $70.50 looks to be pretty good to me. So I actually have this bad boy written down here. We still had this from yesterday. Like, what was this got over 10,000 views with over 47 comments right here. $1,000 now, or $1 million now, or $1,000 for life per week. Okay, so I wrote down here right now, PayPal, $69 long. Deal day there with, yesterday was a deal day, with Google, could send this name higher, right? And so I actually Thought I put Google in there, but we didn't. So right there, $69 there. Let's see what winds up happening with PayPal. It's going to be a trade that I'm going to look at. And the reason why I say 69er is if we go back over here, just looking to see sort of where we closed out yesterday, right? I mean, you're at 70 right now. Like I said, there's not a lot of love for this name. So if we can get it back into yesterday's closing areas, you know, you can see when the deal was sort of announced there, and we talked about it. So we got up from 68 bucks. Now you're into 70. So if you were trading options or anything like that, maybe you got tomorrow expiries, but pretty good there for PayPal. I think it continues to work. Like the space, like fintechs plays, and I think PayPal has just been beat up so much, and it doesn't even look that bad right now, right? I mean, it's been a lot lower than where we were. This kind of gives me some Intel kind of feels where we kept on bouncing off of some of these low levels, made higher, came back, made higher, broke into $92. This thing was $90 back at the beginning of the year. So there is a lot of room to get back to the upside. But yeah, it's a little choppy for sure, and it's not going to be a position that I add to, but I like that break, I think, of $70.50. It's just I don't want to take a break trade today, not on this name. So if it dips in, man, I'm a buyer there of PayPal. And I also have Google written down today as well. I think this is a big name to go with. This is actually a trade that I'm much more confident in. Google breaking that high of 253.50. Now, of course, we write that down before the Nasdaq does this, but this is its all-time high on Google is 253.05. So we already made that here in the pre-market. Let's see if we can take it out again. Maybe it's now just 253 as the long break for Google. So I'm excited for that one more than PayPal. But if we do get a dip, I'm sitting there at 69 for PayPal to buy.
I'm kind of looking at PayPal as more of a swing opportunity than a day trade, at least for myself here. Like looking for a close. I think we were saying this in the afternoon. If this can close today above the 50-period moving average, then all you have to do is break out this resistance at like 70, 80. So you do those two things, swing long, and I mean, there's an obvious first target at 80 bucks. I mean, that's about as clear as day. And then you've got those highs at 90 that are both going to be in place. So I think that's how I want to treat PayPal. Just quickly before we go and move on, there are a few imbalances all to the buy side. BBAI, 650,000 buy side. Remember the other day it was 1.9 million. That was the day it went ham right at the open. 650 is big, but the day that it went crazy, it was 3 times this. Wolf, 400,000 to buy. IonQ, 380. Novo, 300,000. QBTS, 280. Uber, 200,000. Snapchat, all pretty small, but and we know people trade IonQ, BBAI, and sometimes you will see these grow as we get into the close, or get into the open, I should say. A couple more IPOs left. Well, certainly one decent-sized one, but Stub did get sold off yesterday. We'll see how the one goes today in the cybersecurity space, but StubHub, not a very good debut.
Yeah, they're going to have to figure out some logistics. We were just talking about Uber. There was a headline there. It didn't really move on that, but Uber said to be planning to start testing food deliveries by drone with a company called Flytrex in Uber Eats pilot markets by the end of the year, according to Bloomberg, just pointing that out. You know when you go to Home Depot and you buy mixed paint, you get like a specific color and they put it in the shaker to mix it? Sure. Maybe this will avoid your food actually looking like it just came out of one of them.
I didn't know where you were going with that. I was like, what does this have to do with Home Depot?
Theoretically, it should be fairly stable.
It should be.
I don't know.
But you've seen some of the way these e-bike guys drive around
That's
here?
what I'm saying. They're nuts.
Dicey, Brenda.
They're nuts. Yeah. Anyway, Uber trying to get back to the upside here. StubHub looks terrible. At the end of the day, essentially went out at the lows. We were actually pushing new lows here in the pre-market, trying to get back to where it closed yesterday.
Yeah, it was a bit of a nothing burger, Brendo. They did raise money, but again, it was not at the top end of the range. So you can kind of already feel from at the IPO level, it was not being well received. We have another IPO again today. This time, it's called Netscope, guys, and they're eyeing a $7.3 billion valuation. The IPO's price per share is $19, which is at the top end of the expected range, valuing the company about $7.3 billion. They are raising about a little bit less than $1 billion, $908 million, and they're going to debut on the Nasdaq under ticker NTSK, and the price range was actually raised earlier this week from a prior range of 15 to 17, now talking about 17 to 19, and then it's at the higher end of that second range, $19 per share. In case you don't know anything about the company, let me give you a little information. Founded back in 2012 in Santa Clara, California. They've grown to about a little bit less than 3,000 employees and about 4,300 customers across 90 countries. What they do, Brendo, is their platform spans IT security and networking. So they compete with companies like Broadcom, Cisco, Palo Alto, and Zscaler. They have a good recurring revenue surge of 33%, up to $707 million. They are, though, still posting a net loss, and we've seen this with newer companies trying to grow. About $170 million net loss last year, Brendo.
Yeah, we'll see how this one comes to market. I mean, it's, what, 3 in a row now. Not looking good here on the IPO side.
No, it's hard not to think the same way. Like, there's nothing for me to show you for that net scope, right? It's, you know, it's blacked out, and there isn't an imbalance yet on it. We'll keep you updated like we always do live, whether it's our show or right through the middle of the day with Sharif and Joe. They'll have it up. We'll be able to tell you where it's indicating the open. StubHub was an example of a stock where there was not a lot of excitement because they priced at the midpoint. And really, there wasn't a ton of action off the open, but there was a quick little opportunity to buy, and then it sold off, much like all of the other IPOs. So my first thought when it comes to this net scope, excuse me, is similar. Look for like an initial opening push, and try to, you scalp it if you can. I might go small size on it. I'm kind of leaning. It's going to have to show something on the imbalance locator for me to really like it. I'm at the point where I'm not automatically taking it, but I can be convinced if it starts to grow and start to see some actual size in there, like a few million shares of interest, then sometimes you get a little bit of a push. But if we break the bottom, I think you just be open to the reverse. The name that we didn't talk about, Bullish, reported a profit surprising, beating expectations because they were expected to lose it slightly on EPS. And this is one, it's a little far away from the prior high at 55, but certainly that could easily dip back in and give you an opportunity in the 55 to 56 range. As mentioned, the quantum names are all super strong on the back of an IonQ headline, MOU from the Department of Energy that has, I like Rigetti, but to be real, IonQ certainly leading the pack in there. And they're up another 5 points today. This was in the aftermarket that we mentioned this, and it has a chance to break out. But I'm preferring Rigetti today. Simply, it's gapped above. Like, IonQ's at the highs. Rigetti's gapping above into fresh all-time highs. So I think it's just a little bit better of a momentum play out and about and above. As long as it can hold on to 22, look for the old dip and rip into 22. It's under VWAP, so I can't really play continuation until I see it holding the volume-weighted average price. But yeah, we're looking for the dip buy there on Rigetti. I do want to double-check for you the imbalances, and there we are. Because after 925, you start to see some other imbalances come in. Intel now 2 million to the sell side. BBAI is creeping up a little bit there. We traded BBAI the last couple of days. It finally made that $6 break. That could be a good continuation play. I just feel like I'm going to be waiting for Open Door to make its first move instead. But sell imbalance here on Intel, which I don't think that should be too surprising. I mean, a stock that was up 32% at one point gets a 1.8 million sell when it's a 90 million here in the pre-market. So there's going to be some profit taking on the open with Intel. 28 on the daily and then the $30 level are pretty significant on the way back through because it's not holding on to VWAP with that sell imbalance. You guys forgot a water. Nice. Packers. Who do you guys have this week? I don't even know. Oh, is it that good?
Cleveland.
Well, that's a good game.
Yeah, it's going to be a disaster for Cleveland, of course. Am I holding forever on Marvell? Yes. I don't know. I don't know where it is, to be honest. It's probably not in Green Bay. We had our first 2 games are at home, so okay. I was going to say
we're probably not taking
probably on the road there to lovely Ohio. Okay, so I just wanted to say right now, I do have, so my plays that I have bids on right now, I have NVIDIA down here at, I told you 172 is possible. Here it comes in right now, so it's almost there. So there goes NVIDIA. So we're bidding 172. We're also bidding some Google down here as well. Actually, we're waiting for 253.50 to break on that one, so that's going to be a play. We actually have Palantir. We didn't talk too much about that today. I'm bidding this at 168, thinking that we can get some Palantir love back into yesterday's close right there. It's not rocket science. And then PayPal looking for a 6.9er. Those are the only bids that I have and the plays that I have right now, and they're all just sitting there. So get ready to rock and roll. We want to thank everybody for watching us again here today, and you know, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and you know, like I said, if you do that, then the chances are your trades may be profitable. All right, and we're also going to reset this right now. This is our stock visualizer, so get into the chat right now. Put whatever name you want, $ something, $ that, TQQs, NVIDIA, whatever you want. We're going to be all over all this here today, and then we'll double check on which names you guys want us to look over. So, all right, here we go, man. I think NVIDIA might be the first one that we get into. We're now only $1.50 away from that 72, so let's see if we can get into there. The market is coming back down. As far as TQQ levels, I saw people asking about it because, again, we traded this yesterday, only in it once and then got in it late and off the number. So I think I still like that 99 area right into here, 99.50 maybe, but that's a little ways away. So with 20 seconds left, let's get ready to rock and roll, man. Bitcoin's also trying to go higher here.
Yeah, crypto higher, but the market is starting to come back a little bit here. So let's get that opening bell. It's only Thursday. We got another one here brought to you by Beta Pro by Globex. Check them out by scanning the QR code you see in front of you. And let's get this post-Fed party started right about now. Your market's open.
So, brothers, right about now. Okay, welcome everybody. There goes the TQs, just kind of doing nothing right now. NVIDIA bouncing to the upside. We can check out on Intel, again, another name that probably goes lower. I mean, I should have sold this in the pre-market. We talked about that. So we'll wait to see what happens now with Intel. That's pulling in. I think Intel pulls in a lot, but who knows? I hope not, because I didn't sell. Google hovering around as well. So nothing triggering for me yet. And then PayPal, just a quick look at that, 69 and change. So the market's literally 30 seconds old right now. So let's not get too worried about what's going on here. But yeah.
Dips, Tesla dipping.
Marvell is at $73 right now. I had no idea about that one, guys. So that's an absolutely banger of a trade. We may even be in the money now on this name. So there goes Marvell, nicely cooking right back to almost pre-earnings levels. So that's a good little look there for MRVL. Yeah, StubHub, and then we'll go over to Neil and just see. I'm just rolling through some names. Still underneath that 23.50, which is their IPO price. So we'll see what's going on there. I think Google might be the one that I like, but the Nasdaq's trying to bounce here.
Yeah, Nasdaq's trying to bounce. I mean, Tesla dipped, but not that far. So
No,
even Tesla didn't really go that far. Not even nowhere close to 420 to 421. Palantir, which was so strong yesterday. Yeah, that's actually Palantir is breaking out. Palantir didn't print down. It did.
I had 168 and
169.40 it got to.
Okay, I'm in
Palantir.
PayPal.
Palantir's gone. Palantir's starting to go. NVIDIA is also starting to go here. And Open Door, that's the other one. Open Door off of the open. Already down at that $10 level. So it's like doing that crater to the bottom. Got to be patient catching a bit on Open Door as it's now in the red.
I love Joe over there, man. I cannot wait till we have this joint show, Neil, man. It's going to be crazy. There's PayPal right there, man. We wrote down $69. We're long $69. It's already 70 cents in the money. And let's just wait to see what winds up happening right now. I'm bidding right here, $69.90. Hey, man, this thing could tank. I don't know. We got out of a quarter of it. Let's get out of another piece right here at 60 if we're able to do it. It's just bouncing around right now. I still think there's some nice upside here for it. There we go. We'll take another piece out there at 60. We're now at a 35%. Let's hope that we can get it through 90, which is where we're bidding right now. And yeah, we put Palantir down as a long as well. Did not have that, but there goes PLTR, and there goes PayPal, man. It's already your money trade. I mean, this is already hopefully going to be. We haven't done the trophy in a long time because I thought it would have been too much, but right there, good trade so far for PayPal. And then JP Morgan, the big bank, the big bang. Again, JP Morgan upside, 312 all-time highs for this name. There goes PayPal. Come on, give me that 90 right now, baby, and we'll put that in our pocket. And then we'll hold 50% left. We're at 90 right now. It just bounced off of us. Hopefully, it just rips right through, and we'll get that trade. So far, 1 for 1 on our list, but it doesn't matter. Tesla's trying to go through 430 right now. Let's see if we get that PayPal, and then Google.
Palantir is now at 170. The strongest stock in the afternoon yesterday was Palantir. The strongest, I mean, one of the strongest stocks, I don't know for sure, is going to be Palantir again.
Yeah.
We dip back into that prior high. We're not going to get those. I don't think we see 169 again, and if we do, we probably don't love it. So we have to wait for 171 to come in. Adara, what do you have for us?
Yeah, excellent look here for OKLO. OKLO is above $100, guys. I'm not seeing any news for this or for the nuclear space in general, but we know that one thing I was seeing is that apparently the fact that we could get some more rate cuts this year is a good look for nuclear. We know there's also been, in general, some nuclear deals announced over the past few weeks and months. So OKLO, nice push to the upside, no specific catalyst. If that changes, I will let you know. And back to you.
That's Palantir. Thank you. Palantir is still absolutely moon city right now, so we really like that one. We're gonna have to watch out for Google here. It's taking a minute to go, but there it goes, man. We wrote down that we like this name, but we don't have it. So there goes Palantir. I was waiting for a dip buy in everything here today, but there goes the market trying to get back up to the upside.
There are no dips to be had, unless you're open door.
Well, no, unless you have this name, PayPal. PayPal right here, again, 50 cents in the money. We got that crazy dip right there, but I don't know, like it's not moving. I'm gonna take another 5% here. Okay, well, we just get 75s, hit off or enter and grab that. So yeah, so far, yeah, Neil's probably right. Not too much dip happening right now. It's NVIDIA, Micron, and then—
Oh, remember AMD is down because of this deal too.
Yeah, that might be a decent one. Oh man, damn it.
AMD, oh good, sorry, I'll get rid of these later. AMD down, holds 150 at least, so it's trying to battle back here. The other thing is Intel is actually still falling. Not quite to 30 bucks. If we get to 30, fine. That's the first level I'm looking at here is going to be 30 and then 28. We do expect a little bit of a profit taking. I mean, it would be insane to not have profit taking when you have a move this high. It's ridiculous. Micron making some breaks as well. My goodness. The market's not doing that much, up that 1%. And NVIDIA, this is not nearly as exciting as we thought on NVIDIA. We're barely holding that 175 that was so key. We're barely holding on to it at this point. So no buyers above 75 means still wait for the prior day high. I would love for this to be a punch long through this top, but it's not happening. It's actually coming right back in as we speak. So Palantir, Gonzo, maybe a chance that we can still get open door in front of 10. But NVIDIA, if I don't see the buyers emerge above 175, then we're still waiting for the bottom on NVDA. Crazy day today. Oh, and don't forget, Robinhood's going into the S&P 500 tomorrow. Robinhood just broke, I think, all-time highs. No, not yet. Close to all-time highs. But Robinhood going into the index as of the close tomorrow, effective Monday.
Yep. All right, we got some out at 50 when it broke a little bit lower there on PayPal, so it's the only trade that I have right now. So we're waiting to see something else. If something else hits, we're going to be all over it. Here goes Google. We're going to get into Google, by the way. It's going to break 253.50. So here we go. Here goes this play right now. Google near the highs. We said we liked this play. Unfortunately, we should have bought it near the lows there, and we didn't. So let's just hopefully get this name going through the highs, and then we'll see about that break long on Google. But it's a huge move, and I don't know, man. If we get back into 250, maybe we can buy this. But yeah, oh, there it goes. It's going to break right through anyways. So here we go. We are now long. A new position alert right there on Google. So I've got the only two positions so far, but it doesn't mean that there's not more to come. I mean, this is a wild market, as we keep on saying to you. So brace yourself.
Not the Nasdaq.
For that. Yeah, the Nasdaq's now starting to go back up. And here we go, Neil. We're trying to do it one more time. Let's go on Google. Maybe we can get it higher than this. Let's see. We're going to offer some 68s. That was the high right there. There it is. There's the 68s back in. So we're going to go pretty good here on Google. But I don't know. Let's just see if it continues to work out. It's just doing its own thing. As Neil said, hopefully the Nasdaq can get going and we'll have a banger here. But that's new all-time highs for a big trade on Google. Let's see if we can get that now. Up to 254 would be nice. We're waiting right now at right there at 253.97. So we'll give it a minute. I do want to see if we can hold back to 250, 250 is VWAP-ish areas. Now it's 252. But as the extension goes, let's go, man. We just got into the 90s there, 86s, and then pulled back. So, all right, we keep on bouncing at near these highs. Let me get out of 10 more percent right there. There's an 83. Here comes a 97, man. We'll just sit here. And Neil, I know from this side it sounds like a broken record, but there it is again. It is your daily goal hit right there at 937. And remember, I'm only doing it because we had guys like Stevenson, Etienne, and these guys that were really frustrated with trading. And I just want to tell you guys, if you stick with some of the goals that you have, you can make your goals. And you can make them fast or work maybe all day, but at the end of the day, follow your plans, have your trades in mind, and just go for them. And if they work, great. Have the right stop orders, have everything in place. Like if PayPal breaks below 69, I'm out of this one. So we've already sort of put that damage on the board right there. But there goes Google. Now let's wait to see what winds up happening. We still got stops. This could still fall on our face, but that's an opportunity. Again, make your money. Trading is a great full-time job, but it's even better part-time job.
Well, it's great either way, as long as you're making money is the key thing. There's no one path. Full-time, part-time, side gig, I think is perfectly valid. We can tell stories about that from other traders. Look, we didn't get open down at $10, so I'll go with, like, plan B is always play into the volume-weighted average price. If we lose the pre-market low, jump out, and then wait for the $10 level. I didn't get 10. I'm at the quarter for my out, so we'll take the breakout trade. It ends up not working, but let's be real. I swung and missed at $10 on the way back through. Somebody bought this up about 20% or 20 cents on the initial candle. So it was a big buyer at 10s. I'm only thinking long in this price area. Remember, 10.35, why I keep transacting there? We're about $1 away from that exact price that you know who was transacting at. And that was the high from yesterday that we couldn't bust through. So if we're busting through that afternoon high, then I want to play it. Otherwise, we wait for the $10 level. Rigetti is breaking out. Had a quick little VWAP scalp trade on Rigetti. I misplaced my stop, so I got in and out essentially flat. But it's coming right back in here, Rigetti. We're going to play that one to the long side. IonQ is the one with the news story. IonQ is not breaking out. Rigetti is breaking out. I do want to keep an eye on IonQ. If that starts tanking, you know Rigetti could as well. And NVIDIA didn't pull the trigger 175, and it's now coming right back in. So it never closed above VWAP. It never closed above 175. This one feels like it's still falling. I think we're going to get a shot at that prior day high. And Intel, similar story. Can't hold VWAP, so waiting for $30. Tesla's dropping in as well.
Yeah,
so
Tesla's a big one.
Tesla's dropping, but I feel like Intel 30 and NVIDIA at prior day high 171.5 are two plays that are going to come in a little bit sooner. We'll see which one hits first. But Intel up 24% on this collaboration.
Oh, man.
And the profit is still being taken.
Yeah, man, only bright minds, I think, take that profit. Honestly, I think that we talked about that, and I think that hopefully you guys were able to take that profit in the pre-market. I should have sat there and done that, man, and did not. So, all right, so we just want to hold this until it breaks through 252. We said 252.50 was where VWAP was eventually going to wind up, and now it's at 252.28. So look at this market bleeding to the downside. So, yeah, definitely not expecting that as we sit now in Google and just see. I mean, we're not going to let this thing bleed too much against us. If it does go down into the O's there and we have to stop out, then we have to stop out of Google. So we have to be very, very patient with that kind of a play because the market is bleeding. And if it continues to go down, we'll stop out. And it looks like that may be what's happening right now for Google. So if that breaks through 252, we're going to be out of that. So it's just giving it a little bit of room, but it feels not great as we're touching down right now at VWAP. So oh boy, yeah, not a good one here for Google to start the day. You know, we could buy a little bit more down here, but let's not buy that much. It didn't even really change my price. So we'll just sit here. It looks like we'll go O's and buy daily goal, right? And that's why, you know, we were saying, like, if you take the outs there, you can do it. And if not, now you got to pay the price sometimes. And don't get too greedy on your trades. But, you know, I thought this one could work. We've had some huge bangers, you know, in our accounts, as you guys know. And I thought Google had a good chance today to do exactly that. Okay,
they just hit the bid hard everywhere.
Yeah, we'll get something out here at 50 as it's making its way back up now. I'm just trying to stop some of the bleeding. We'll get another out here in the 60s, and then if it can rip up, don't worry, I'll let you guys know if I'm green or red on this name when this trade is done with, but I'm just trying to piece a little, I'm just trying to piece a little bit out as it's getting violent here to the downside in the Nasdaq. So I don't want to hold Google necessarily through if this level is, you know, a tank. So
what's crazy is, as you were talking, Rigetti bounced off VWAP. I was getting printed at 23.36, and like that, it was back at 23. Somebody just hit the bid. I kind of saw it too. Like I saw it on, well, I have NVIDIA up as well. I'm kind of pointing to where I'm seeing it, but I saw the bid get hit kind of across the board there. So you know what happened? The Nasdaq, it looks like it took out. Maybe that's all that happened. The Nasdaq creeping through the morning low and the overnight low. So when that occurred, I saw almost everything hit the bid. So I did get that VWAP on Rigetti, but man, that is some heavy sell action. I don't want to reload. I'm not reloading another time here. Let's get like an initial bounce. Maybe we can get back to the highs, but there was some kind of a bid that just got lost there. And even open door, I want to show you open door. If Rigetti loses 23, I might want to manually punch out and not leave it to the stop at 22.90. But open door back to that $10 level. So it was almost like an everything push to the downside temporarily there. So just be careful. We're still pretty early in the session here. Yeah. But if the Nasdaq doesn't regain some of those lows, then that nice bullish feel that we're feeling could be gone. But there's open door down into the 10 level. I'd love to see it bounce. Don't know if I like that and Rigetti. Okay, now it's starting to creep off of VWAP here. Gonna get some more out. That 36 is where it turned before. 23, 36, pretty much on a dime. We're gonna get an offer at 35 and see if we can't get filled on RGTI. Yeah, open bleeding. Maybe Shkreli will be happy. Maybe he averaged in.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I said this. Like, I want to take almost every single. If a breakout sets up on open door, I want to take a shot at it. That's the way I want to look at it. It's not that I don't have anything against anyone that shorts it. I just think this has a lot of squeeze potential when it's breaking out. And it did a couple in yesterday's trade. But yeah, you're not really doing much here on open door outside of barely holding this $10 level.
All right, so there goes Google right there. Yeah, a couple tough trades today for sure. So we'll try to get this P&L back to where we need it. There goes Google breaking through 252. So we were able to get something out there in the 50s, but a red move down there for Google for sure. So yeah, no matter what you're looking at today, it's been a little bit of a downward push for sure. Palantir did make a move down as well. I still like that Google trade, by the way. Like it's just that VWAP now. It's not like it's impossible to get that. Maybe we have to look at the TQQs again to see. Palantir, I bid 171. I'm not sure. The TQs is coming into $100. That doesn't really matter to me about those levels per se. Google might. I just don't want Google to bounce off that level. Let me have another look here on Google because yeah, there it is, the 200 period moving average. All right, let's just try a little bit of it here. We'll bid some 50s and we miss it, so we'll punch into some 05. Sorry, we'll punch into some 12s. There we go. We get the 05. So now we'll wait to see. I didn't even. Like I said, I might have jumped the gun a little bit there on getting out, but I wanted to because it flipped all the way down to 251.60, and the amount of shares that we had there was for hopefully a huge trade, and instead we'll take a loss, and now we'll have to wait to see if there is some get up back here for Google because I just didn't want to hold it through the 200, through VWAP, through everything, and then it does wind up breaking the 200 period moving average and get down to 251.50. So
apparently it's CrowdStrike that's strong right now. Rigetti just lost a bid, so I'm slapping the fail on that one. As you know what, that initial bounce, that if I had just sold it all at 20, I said there was a seller at 23.35, and I took another fill, which is silly. I was able to get the profit there, but then I took another buy at the 23 level, which will turn it back into red. Apparently, it is CrowdStrike's moment. 4 or 5 upgrades from CrowdStrike, basically all citing AI. Oh, this looks so good on Crowd. I'm groaning because I own more Palo Alto than I own CrowdStrike. But that's probably not a bad thing. It doesn't. You're probably winning in both of these. Let's be real for a second. Palo Alto on sympathy is up. It's not like it's not up. Cybersecurity names are going to be in play today. Remember, the IPO today, whatever. It's a NTSK. What is that thing called? An NTSK. Netscope, the IPO. I have no data for it. There's not an imbalance on it yet. We can pull it up, but I have no data on that Netscope imbalance. Let's go to Adara.
Just again, some context there on CrowdStrike. As Neil mentioned, it is AI related. They are basically announcing strategic expansion of their AI platform and then also acquiring Pangea. This one did not end up making the watch list just because there's so much news today. But CRWD, that is the catalyst for CrowdStrike today, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, it's funny. The only positive stock we have today is PayPal, and that actually even brought through the lows right there. And we're just positive a cup of coffee on this name. That's it. So so far today, not huge days anywhere unless you've been short, I guess. There goes the market pulling back down. I was biased long, so I'm going to get hit. All right, 251.50, last chance here. We're not going to just burn everything here on Google. We're going to try it one more time. I thought the news was positive there today in this market, and it doesn't look like that's true at all. So there goes Google, basically bouncing 2 all-time highs, there it goes, breaking lower, creating all-time new highs, and now just banging right off of that back into that downside right now. We just heard some talk about Disney, but we talked about this earlier, that it wasn't going to be doing much, and I think that that's right. It's not doing much right now is Disney. We could check out Meta on their Meta Connect event there yesterday, 785. This looks like it's working. So if there's anything that's working, it's Meta. I'm just mad to not have sold Intel because I gave up 5% on that. But maybe it'll be back and we'll be able to get some dip buys. We'll be able to sell some rips in that name if it does go into those levels. But yeah, the market getting lower. Maybe that 99 on the TQQs will eventually print for us. I'm not sure. Google's now at 251 and getting a lot lower. Tesla just bouncing off 424, pretty good level there that we sort of bounced off of. The low was 422 right there. But I don't know, man. No, like I said, man, we'll I guess, continue to look for some good opportunities here. And so far, haven't been able to find much. So.
Well, you can definitely find something interesting with Beta Pro by Globex because they're bringing back their annual biggest winner simulated ETF trading competition. And now they've got over $40,000 in cash prize, including the $20,000 grand prize, which, by the way, it's all risk-free. Free to enter and open to all Canadians. Trade with $100,000 in fantasy cash on the Webull platform. Whether you're an experienced trader or just getting started, it's a chance to test strategies, build skills, and climb the leaderboard. So you think you have what it takes to be the next biggest winner? Sign up today, scan the QR code you see out in front of you. Webull, that was a stock you probably don't want to look at today if the market's coming down. That's for sure. Webull had a bad day yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I still think Webull is a wait till 10 to 11. Speaking of 10 to 11, well, dollars is what I mean on Webull.
Right.
Not time. I'm not going to, let's buy Webull at 10 o'clock.
Specific time.
No, but Webull, if you see the daily chart,
there goes.
We'll go there a little bit later. Open Door, as I was, whatever, we just missed a turn on Open Door, is it just bounced right off that $10 level. So the buyers are still engaging at that 10. That's where I'm going to sit. I'm sitting here at 8s and I'm sitting there at 2s. Try and get 4 or 5 as a price and see if we can hold the low on Open Door. If we break out a second time above that 35 area, above Fed level, I'm still taking another breakout up here. I'll take all the breaks set up, but we might have just missed a dip buy. And apparently we're going back to Adaro. We might have more news.
Looks like this meeting or conference here with Donald Trump, President of the U.S., and UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer is about to begin. The video feed is now inside a room featuring various flags, specifically the United Kingdom flag and the U.S. flag. So once this meeting actually commences, I'll let you know. Right now there's just cameras in the room, and I don't have any details beyond that. Back to you.
Here we go, man. I mean, I'm not proud to say this, but it's a dollar club on Google. I mean, it's just, it took us too long to find it. That's all. Like, we got back in at 250, 150. I really wish that second time that we got back in at 252, it actually would have gone back up to the upside there, but there it goes, right back up. We're still not going to be green on that. So we're only green on PayPal here today. So I'm going to have to wait to see. I only have PayPal and Google, so I'll speak for myself. You can always ask us what we're up to if we're green or whatever, but I'm not. So and I think you'll miss that move on Tesla. So that sucks. All right, I did want to go back to PayPal as well, just to see what that was doing. So 68.72, again, thought that there was going to be some love there for that break, and it just did not break on the daily. So we're able to get in and out, like I said, green name, but was hoping for it to be bigger. And I can't predict, what these stocks are going to do. All I can do is trade levels that I see right there, $70.50 right there. Just did not break through. We have those ticks, and we have the outs, and we have now Google just ripping to the upside right now. I laugh because I'm $1.20 in the money, but we don't have, I have like a third of the position I normally have on this trade. So it's nice that it's working backside right now, or back to the end here. But, at the end of the day, just too many shots there on Google. But
Palantir is still going.
Yeah, Palantir. Investors Business, they're picking Palantir as one of the best stocks to trade. So there it goes. Nice move there, 174. There goes Palantir. We love this stock. This is my Jimmy Carter Day pick as well. So it just keeps on going to the upside. We really like Palantir. Still holding a big part of this one. All right, there it is. There we go. We get the 170s. 250.70. What am I even talking about right there as a face slapper for Google? But yeah, that's about it right there. I'm not going to be positive right now yet here today, but we got PayPal in and we got Google going. And anything else you guys want to talk about right now? Swing trader pick is PLTR for Investors Business Daily.
Is that what they said?
That's what they just said.
Okay, I didn't hear. I just heard investors pick daily.
Yeah.
And based on the name, you would have thought it would have been their pick of the day, but it's a swing trade.
Swing trade.
So yeah, swing trade pick of the day. I like that. I actually think Palantir out the 50 period is a swing opportunity. We'll get to PayPal, because I think if PayPal closes above 71, that's a swing long. But Palantir yesterday bounced exactly off the 50 period moving average on the daily, which was absolutely gorgeous for a setup. So Rigetti's back above VWAP, so I'm back into the long there. Let's see if that 23.35 seller is going to still be intact. If it is, if I see the book start to stack up again at that same price level, then it's going to be a pretty quick scalp trade for sure. Shout out to you, Trader R. Gibb. Well, I'll read the whole thing. Gibby. I knew it was going to be Trader R. Gibby. You made 1,700. Intel and PayPal. Account went from 240 to 4 grand. Intel's actually holding up better than you would think.
Oh, good.
Here today. And yeah, I thought this was going to dip more than that. There's no question about it. Okay, now I've jinxed it. It just went to the volume weighted average price and now coming back down. But look, it just bounced $1, and then I read the super chat, and it's already pulling back to $0.50. But no, I think it's holding up much better than I would have anticipated. The 30 level is held. You just can't creep above VWAP, and if you can't do that, then I'm not compromising on where I'm waiting for a reversion play on Intel. Rigetti trying to go. Remember, it's IonQ specifically that had news here today, and maybe this one just needs to go. Rigetti's stronger, but if IonQ can go, I think that'll give some help to Rigetti in the overall space. So
Rigetti actually had its own news, Neil. It came out right around 8:30, so they received a 3-year, if you go to my screen, you can see it, but they received a 3-year, $5.8 million contract from Air Force Research Laboratory to advance their superconducting quantum networking. I just wanted to add that in there.
$1.9 million a year when your evaluation's $1 billion.
That's a good one.
So remember, this is, I only chuckle because we talk about this all the time. If you're trading a quantum name or you're looking at quantum names, you have to try to remember that the valuations, if you think Palantir's valuation doesn't make sense, then the quantum names are just on a different level of nonsensicalness. If you want a quantum name that actually has a reasonable valuation, is a safe long-term holding, then buy Google or IBM. You know, that's a really safe way to play, and you get quantum exposure. Simple as that.
Yeah, I like quantum. I mean, I've been big into IBM and Google for a minute. We just sold Google too low. That's all. We bought some Eli Lilly. We're fine with what we've been doing, and we bought some Marvell. And there goes Marvell right there, right back to where we were pre-earnings. It might be time to ring the Reggie on this play. I don't. We bought some Marvell right here, right before earnings. This is the earnings day, so it must have been 70. I mean, I don't know what price we would have got. I'll have to look back, but let's just say we got 75s or whatever that was. That candle closed 74 to 70 that day. There's the move down, and then we rebought it on these lows because I love the name, and I've been liking Marvell for a very, very long time. We were actually in it down here and didn't take advantage when it went the first time up to the 200 period moving average. So I think that this is, again, another level right here that we're looking at $75 for MRVL. It's not going anywhere. Really like this name, American company. Lots of opportunity here for them. I don't even know. Let me check. I was going to, it's funny, my birthday card from my son said, I hope you can find some good PEs. All right, MRVL. So at least I'm teaching my kids everything about finance.
I mean, Marvell's PE.
I don't know. I'm going to find out what it is here in a second. Yeah, he just said in my card, he's like, happy birthday, man. I hope you can find some good PEs at work. Right there. Okay, MRVL. Let's go figure this one out and see what this PE is. Not great, I don't think. 25. Okay, we'll take it. Right there for Marvell. So
only a forward.
Yeah, they must not have had earnings last quarter. I'm not sure what I thought they did, but
no, it could have just been a 1 quarter thing.
We'll figure it out. But anyways, yeah, Marvell, big time move, and I like it, man. Its market cap right here for Marvell is only 61 billion right here. It's should be in the hundreds. So we'll wait to see what happens with Marvell. I think that's a sleeping giant, and hopefully you heard it here first. And if you didn't, hopefully you're longer at lower prices than me because I really like that stock. And oh boy, do we have one right here. There goes the bull is now riding here as it goes top to bottom. I mean, there it goes, man. Google's now $1.70. finally in the money right there, as there it goes, man, right back there to the upside. We kept on trying and trying and trying. Eventually, we obviously got stopped out there, but there it goes, right back there to the upside. So it's a nice little move here back in for that one. And yeah, I think Tesla's going to be an interesting play here at some point today, but IonQ and all that continue to run.
If I can believe this, it's still AMD that's literally the top of the list. It's not even, like, it's not even close. AMD, Intel, Open, obviously we talked, okay, BITF we haven't talked about at all, but I think every other name has been covered with the exception of AMD. And literally as I'm looking at a bit of a reversion play on NVIDIA, like if NVIDIA is not breaking 175 and it's not getting down to yesterday's high, prior high, then the break of the trend and then the play into 175 is the other way to look at it. But remember, this collaboration between AMD and Intel, between NVIDIA and Intel has sent AMD to the downside. It is now starting to creep up. So AMD getting a bit of a recovery bounce for short, trending higher. I never had any plans to short this name. I would have rather just go long NVIDIA, play it in the other direction. But my thing would, if NVIDIA resumes an uptrend, wouldn't it make some sense potentially if you happen to be long AMD that could reverse? One went up, the other went down. Now AMD's starting to go up as NVIDIA is trending down. I feel like if this breaks trend, NVIDIA, you could see AMD come back in. So I'd be a little bit concerned. If you're long, there could be a correlation here today. There was early, doesn't mean it has to hold, but it's certainly worth watching. I'd rather play the NVIDIA long though.
All right, now $1.70 now in the money on Google. So we're gonna take some more outright here as it continues to climb higher and higher for us. I'm also gonna take NVIDIA. I'm gonna take a break of VWAP right here on NVDA. So if NVIDIA breaks 174.25, we're gonna go long here and just use 174 as our base. So hopefully that can get going. We'll see right now if that's gonna be in the cards or not. I mean, hoping it is, but who knows if that's what's gonna wind up happening. Again, Google is right now, again, back up to these highs. So with $1.80, like, you know, I know we do it, it's not easy to find these kind of winners, but we also have losers on Google today. So we have 10 o'clock, we have numbers. Let's go over there and read them with Adara.
We've got the leading index change month over month here. Negative 0.5% was the actual print. That was lower than the forecast of negative 0.2% and the previous print of negative 0.1%. Keep an eye here. Some things with the administration to be aware of, the U.S. administration. They did just announce that the call between Donald Trump and President Xi of China will happen at 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. So just under 24 hours from now, we will get that call. Here's the market pushing up a little bit higher here is the Nasdaq. I want to mention as well this meeting, this press conference, or however you want to put it, between Keir Starmer of the UK, Prime Minister of the UK, and President Donald Trump of the US has not yet begun. I see Scott Bessent in the room. People are in the room. They're getting cameras set up, and they are zooming in more, but neither has begun talking yet. When that changes, I'll let you know right away. But yeah, NASDAQ right now, nice, I guess a little bit of a pop on there. NVIDIA on watch, NVDA and Intel, INTC, NVIDIA investing $5 billion in Intel. This was a good look for both of these stocks, especially pre-market, but it wasn't a good look for the rest of these chip names. AMD, notably to the downside. Broadcom and ARM dropped as well. Cracker Barrel, one of a handful of earnings names to watch out for. Bullish also reported their first report ever. Darden reported before the bell. Cracker Barrel here, guiding actually worse than expected for sales for the fiscal year, and their Q4 adjusted earnings missed estimates. Before we send you back to the guys, we'll take a moment to thank our friends at Origenics. Each year, 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S., but there's still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE-listed Origenics, OGEN, is changing that with its first in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Origenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more and schedule a meeting today. Back to you.
Getting one today. Thank you very much there, Adair. Appreciate you. So look, we got the number coming out. It didn't really do much of anything, but the market is trying to roar back in here as the NASDAQ is back above the volume-weighted average price and trying to make a run at some of those overnight highs. Let's see if we can get there. It was a bit of an inside, like we said, a bit of an inside day when you looked at it for the Fed. But what I like about this is the inside day held for the overnight low. We came right back in, bounced in front of the overnight low, no breakdown there in the NASDAQ, which would make you think differently about some of these longs. NVIDIA broke that trend. I didn't see what AMD was doing in the moment, when NVIDIA just caught that recent spike, but just watch out. I don't know if that's going to end up holding that correlation. I think this partnership might give some people reasons to sell AMD. Outside of just the fact that it recently failed the 50-period moving average on the daily. Like, this already looked a little bit bearish underneath 160 and that 50, at least in my opinion. So maybe this is an excuse for it to hang out down this 150 level. I might sell some AMD. I have AMD shares from like years and years ago. This might give me the reason to just say that's enough. It's not the one that I like. I like NVIDIA, and I own some ARM shares, which I was considering what to do with today, because that also might lose the 50 period today on ARM. But that's neither here nor there. AMD weakness, NVIDIA and Intel with their strength, but got to keep in mind this 175. NVIDIA is still under its 50 period, and that chart crashed. Let's go to the 15-minute. There we go. Still under its big 175 level. If we can't break this, then NVIDIA is a bit of a disappointment no matter where it closes. 175, that key price. We wanted to see us out and about and above, and then worrying about 180 on a Friday and not 175 tomorrow.
Our big BREA did not get to 650, so we're not out of any of those shares. We're long at $4. So $4 to 650 is 50%, so more than 50%. So if we can grab that, this is not even really a swing trade. I mean, I believe in big BREA. So just trying to get some out here as we go to the higher end of that trade. Just quickly checking out on Open Door. I mean, bouncing off $10 is no surprise, so wait to see that break right there and then go short. I don't know if we probably have shortable shares. Yes, we do. Okay, so I'll probably be smacking that short right there on that break of 993 on Open Door. Yeah, 993, 994. That's a good one coming back into the 200-period moving average. I think you could get that trade there for Open Door if it sort of collapses on itself right there. But this is looking like it could also be a support area. So maybe a 990 break. We're still a minute from there. So let's not get too carried away. But as this Nasdaq continues to go up, we're looking to put on a big trade there for NVIDIA. So if that can break, we're only now 10 cents away from breaking higher. So I got to get ready to go on that one. We did clap out of a lot of our NVIDIA up there because it got to our price again, the price that we failed on, basically. It broke 253, it got to 254. We were like, yeah, man, we're doing good now. And then it was like, no, you're not. And it whacked it all the way to the downside before eventually catching a bottom on not as many shares. But we've been getting it out on the way back up. So we'll have some bleeding right now in the account early and then make some back a little bit late. So just waiting for that NVIDIA to blow through, right? And if it does that, then that would be good for us because we're going to go long, and Neil has some shares there. Okay, there it is. So here we go, man. We actually put on some volume here, some share sizes. So now let's see. So the breakouts haven't worked for me today. Let's see if NVIDIA can do it. I was actually going to hold, let's just hold 50% of this. If this breaks back down below 173.89 or so, then we'll get out of half. You know, we're fine to be wrong on things, but we're not fine to be wrong for very long, not with what I'm trying to do. So let's wait to see here now where NVIDIA goes, right? It's like the same trade as that IPO. If you're going to trade with big boy shares, you got to have smaller stops. So we're going to do that right now. Let's see what winds up happening with NVIDIA having a problem at VWAP again. So yeah, hopefully the market continues. We called a big market day here today. It's only up 1.1%. I think it can go more. So let's go NVIDIA and see if we can actually make some bread on this name here today.
Yeah, NVIDIA looks pretty strong. And you know what? The correlation isn't holding. AMD is also... Oh, no. Come on, chart. My charts hate me this morning. There we go. AMD is also going to the upside. I'm trying not to flip too much on these ones for you, but AMD also going pretty strongly. So it's like an everything rally. I want to cover in front of 175 and then play the next dip. 175 obviously had a bit of a wall at the open. I anticipate that you could see a little bit more of that as well.
Yes, Neil.
Tesla's also starting to go. Everything is breaking out. The Nasdaq's about to get to high of day. Check that. The Nasdaq is at the highs as we speak. So, you know, give that clean move into 175. I think it's happening. The only thing that's not going that I'm looking at, Palantir's flying. Rigetti's now up 11%. Tesla's not doing much of anything. And Open Door is still struggling with that $10 level. Pretty much everything else looks like it's going to be super, super strong here today. Come on, one more push, one more push. There's some sellers at the 174 half dollar you can see here. If you're watching it, you can see it at 174 half. I might pluck it out. It was trend in, trend out suggests before 175 it could be here.
All right, yeah, we're out of half already because we took out half for the risk, right? I mean, we went long at 174.25. We told you our stop was 174 breaking lower, and that was going to be for 50%. You saw me put the order out right there. So we're going to do that, and now we're just going to wait and see where we go from here. I have another offer at 60, and then I have another offer after that up there at that 175 level. So yeah, man, so far so good, and we're jamming over here now, so it's all good. We got $1.70 in the money as well with Google, but we're waiting for NVIDIA to go. That's the bigger position. Again, I don't have a problem telling you guys, like, I took a big position there. We said that before. So hopefully now it continues to climb a little bit higher there. And who knows if it does or not, but we have that sort of crystal ball ability sometimes. With Google, for sure, was the wrong way. We went long early and then it dropped back in there. There's NVIDIA, gave me that 60s, so that turns out to be a nice little fill there. And yeah, here we go. Making some money back for sure here after that sort of disastrous open for me on Google, but there goes NVIDIA right now. We can always check back in. I know Neil's been doing this, but I'm actually going to pause this right now just to give us a quick little look. AMD, I mean, we love some Big Bear AI, man. Yeah, you're right about that. Let's hit the bangs for Big Bear AI, up 3%. BMNR, congratulations, Ethereum shareholders. We're going to look again at some crypto space and see what go on there. Robinhood, Intel, boo Intel. Should have got out more of that. I should have got out some of it.
No, it's holding up okay.
Yeah, still though, I've given back 5%, right? All right, there, 11% up for Rigetti is nice. AMD, I don't know. I don't really like that name. Palantir, 175, great. I mean, Palantir is great. This might be a good day to look at the account as well. Reddit, wow, what a great call. That's been to the upside as well. BREA, we can have a quick look there and see what's going on. And then SoFi, recently sold some at 24. That's not going to hold well. But what was that stock there?
Remember BMNR?
No, BREA here, halted. So here's a name here, Adair. Get some information on this one. BREA, let me see what the name of this company is, BREA. It is BREA Holdings right now, and it's halted. So, probably, I don't want to say, I don't know what it is, if it's a Chinese name or not, BREA Holdings. Adair will get that to us momentarily.
There's only 70,000 shares traded on this so far today. It does have a market cap of 21 million, and it did something similar earlier this week. This is what we call a repeat offender. Also, I actually just heard clapping. It looks like Trump and Keir Starmer are taking the stage.
Okay, great, thanks.
Okay, so just obviously, anytime the president speaks, you don't, it could be market moving. You don't know what the comments are going to be on. There's always a chance. Remember, there was a deal with Palantir, so Palantir could easily get mentioned because that was yesterday. So I took out the $0.50 on NVIDIA and just popped right on the VWAP bid. It hasn't really retested VWAP yet, but I still think we can. Rigetti's now 12% and flying. There's no real levels up here. These are all-time highs for... I just went and clicked on my chart as if I can cancel orders on it there. But if we pull back into 24 or 23.6, as Rigetti just continues to fly. The other name that I got on watch is going to be Tesla. Tesla, nothing burger, no chance at 420, but now it's really consolidating this 430 level. So right here, holding VWAP really nicely and trying to break out that 430. I'll zoom out so that you can see. This is also trying to break out the afternoon high from yesterday. Resistance at Fed highs on Tesla here. So let's see if we can get this one. Holding VWAP's one thing, breaking out the 430 is another. I'd rather break. I'm sitting VWAP on NVIDIA, but I want break on Tesla. It was either dip into 420 or this one taking out some highs. My VWAP could be a little bit off because it's missing some data, but not by much. It's about 427.
Sure my
what is this?
Okay, so Google, I don't know. Google, we're over $2 in the money right now on all positions. We get some, and I pulled my 90s on NVIDIA and took 85. So, yeah, this is really going to hold the day for me on that trade alone right there on NVIDIA. And again, I'm glad I talked about this trade when it was at 173.50. Right, and so we talked about putting some risk into this. So there it goes, man. Now you're in the money now, 65 cents on this trade, and looking pretty darn good right now. People mentioning maybe Apple moving around here again today. Look, I love Apple. I think that this is definitely a buy the dip situation. If it ever gets any lower, especially to some of those levels that we got to after the Apple, I was gonna say Apple Connect event, but the Apple 17 event there. And that's 225-ish, right? I mean, even 230 would be a nice, NVIDIA is going, and we coined this a while ago, NVIDIA is going meme crazy. Shout out right now to Ozan out there for his cows. And there we go right now. This one's moving to the upside as we have NVIDIA, man. We still have half of this position right now on NVDA. But maybe, okay, you know what? Let's just get out of one more piece here. Why not? We'll get out there in 90s here on NVIDIA and just watch to see what happens on that 175 break. Maybe we do get back up to that 176er area again. Check in on some of the weaker names from yesterday, including what continues to fail. And Flushy down to the downside there is, you know, a friend of mine, StubHub. I like finding good deals on there. Sometimes hard to find, that's for sure. But right now, StubHub, again, a good name to look at. I like the business. I just think it's very competitive. And yesterday we nailed this one, and it was a great trade. So
the new one has a price now.
Oh, that Netscope?
Yeah,
This is a
2610.
peach from yesterday. It was too hard yesterday. I'm going to try it today. That banana was just littered with bruises, and that's not
Yeah, but I have a second one where I can try, but I had to throw half it out. NTSK, $26.60 is the indicated. Oh, it's still way too early, and the size is under 1 million shares for NTSK, unfortunately. Whatever. I don't want to say never, but it's not, early on, it's not appearing like that's going to be a long off of the open. Maybe a trade after the fact, or maybe I'll pay for some locates on NTSK. We'll see. But kind of a nothing burger. I don't think that was all that hyped anyways. It's a decent space. That's the only thing I like about it is that it's cybersecurity. But I don't think there's enough hype in it. And it actually just went down to a sell and under 26. All right, so the next thing I'm looking for, we already mentioned, if we get VWAP on NVIDIA, Tesla just cannot seem to get, it was really close. It looked like it was going to be this breakout here at 430. But Tesla, it's going. It's just not really following up at all. Open door continues to flush, now through $10 again. That's the thing. I can want to be along the stock, and I'm like, I'll take it as it's breaking out, but it's now just trending down. No trend break, no moss, as far as I'm concerned. If you lose here, remember this didn't bid up until like $9.20 yesterday. No stock had as volatile of a candle that I saw as open door when that Fed number came out, as expected. It was insane. Like it went down like $1.20 in a single candle and then snapped right back. So underneath $10 is a lot of risk on open door. Either we break trend and then we can start squeezing, or we're going to break out this 1040 area again. Those are the only two things I'm looking at for open door, and we already mentioned NVIDIA.
Yeah, we got some more out there on NVIDIA as it continued to rip higher into 175. So a couple more outs up there. I don't know. I hope it bounces. I hope it takes it out. Right now, President Trump on call right now. But BTCC here, 0 hacks over 14 years. Trade Bitcoin up to 500 times levered. Even Tesla Gold and Forex all available here at btcc.com. With smart copy trading, you just don't watch the pros. You can also trade like them. With smart copy trading, it's very popular these days. So check it out at btcc.com. They're regulated in US, Canada, and Europe and trusted by over 6.8 million traders. This is a Trader TV Live exclusive, everybody. You can now get, I mean, I don't even know how they do this, but a 15% deposit bonus by clicking on that QR code you see, or click on the link in our description, btcc.com, where the pros trade. And now you can also offering there, gets them out at 83s there again on NVIDIA. I'm just trying to sit on my hands because A, they're cold, and B, I'm going to have to maybe get a refresh of the coffee. But the thing about this is the Yeti is actually we should look at Yeti stock.
It's super effective.
I still have a full coffee here from the morning. That one that Randy gave was super cold. And
well,
I'm
you know what's
still
also
under the
wrong
weather here.
Is the Yeti, dude. Yeti makes incredible products, but the cooler is out of control.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm glad you like it.
So good. Well, for anyone that doesn't know, Sean was getting a Yeti cooler for Marissa's birthday. His wife's.
No, Christmas. Was it Christmas? Christmas.
Oh, was it Christmas? Anyways,
they sent the wrong color.
I don't remember why Why did I order it though?
No, because I got such
wanted
a good price on it.
Right, okay.
Right, and I was like, instead of me sending it back, I could keep it and then reorder the one that I actually...
so I kept it, because I didn't care about the color, so I'm like, I just want one of these things to go camping.
Yeah.
And so I grabbed the Yeti.
It's great.
It's a great product.
Fantastic.
Yeti doesn't do volume, and the stock is
one.
not really doing a heck of a lot. But, you know, why not? They just got a free plug. So congratulations, Yeti. You just now got yourself, as I said, a free plug. Intel does not need any introduction today with that big deal, $5 billion investment and a PC collab with NVIDIA. NVIDIA's, as we already mentioned, trying to go, but Intel up 25%. It's now holding VWAP. So this is 31.5. If it breaks out 31.5, there's a breakout over VWAP. If it loses VWAP, I don't want the long anyways. So that's why I'm taking the break instead of, let's just hope. If we can break 31.50, we'll have our first trade in Intel. I just think it's a bit of a momentum push, hold VWAP, and then break into 32 and then 32.5. There's a lot of risk if you don't scalp trade this stock. If it fails here, it could be at $28 or $29. Like, this is up so much, and there's a lot of, I would assume there's a lot of bags in this stock, and certainly anyone with 19s and 20s, like, who wouldn't be looking at 50% and liking it? So there could be some real volume on any big failure there in NVDA. Sorry, in Intel. And JB asking about PayPal. I haven't looked at it since the open. Hey, this could still do it. As far as I'm concerned, it's not over until, I want this closing above the 50-period moving average. If it closes today, that's about 70-something bucks. Like, anything over 70 is a close over the 50-period moving average, and then I want to be a buyer Monday morning on PayPal. It is bouncing here, but I was thinking more swing on PayPal than anything else, than a day trade. It just looks interesting. So hopefully the next trade for me is going to be Intel busting through 31.50. Maybe open door. Open door is a maybe. I want to see this break this trend as well. Adara?
Yeah, we're going to do small cap recap now as well, if I may. I do want to mention, though, Donald Trump just mentioned nuclear on this call, or not this call, this press conference with Keir Starmer, Prime Minister of the UK, saying that they're committed to ensuring the UK has a supply of reliable AI, and also mentioning, I guess, nuclear collaboration. I just checked one of the quantum names. They did drop on that, so just be aware of that. Here is the IWM, though. Nice push to the upside. This one, as you can see, super volatile yesterday along with the rest of the market, but the IWM is a lot more rate sensitive, as are these small caps. So yeah, IWM right now, though, certainly not near yesterday's high of day, but at its own intraday high of day right now. Here is Rich Tech Robotics, RR. This one is on watch here. No news on this that I could find. It is a small cap. It's on the Russell 2000, $600 million market cap, 16% short float, and it's rallied in the past. Then we have RGTI, admittedly not a small cap name per se, but an $8 billion market cap, but certainly on watch. We do have comments coming, again, right now from President Donald Trump, quantum and also nuclear being mentioned. Rigetti, a quantum name, also has its own catalyst here, receiving a $5.8 million contract over a 3-year period. Last but not least, ORBS. This is 8Co Holdings. This is the one formerly known as OCTO. Dan Ives involved in this one. They have the WorldCoin Treasury they're starting to work on. So ORBS, no new news on this one, but it's one that has been on watch, about a 1.14 million share float. And before we send you back to the guys, we will take a moment to thank our friends at Trade the Pool. Did you know that instead of risking your own money, you can now trade with somebody else's capital? No more fear of losing, no more moving your stop loss too soon, and you actually get enough capital to make it worth your while. Or time. So you can aim for big profits, not just a couple $100 a month. This is the revolution called limited risk trading, and it's powered by Trade the Pool. This is how it works. Join Trade the Pool, hit the profit goal, and keep 70% of the profits. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now for 10% off. Donald Trump also talking about stocks right now, guys, saying that, quote, stocks will do much better as time goes by. Back to you.
There goes NVIDIA there. Thanks, Adara. NVIDIA now breaking above 175. So shout out to Johnny in the chat right here. Make sure you guys do get into the chat. We had a record day yesterday, viewer-wise. So thank you, everybody, for kicking that there. Joe and Sharif did the midday show. And then, I don't know, I was trying to get Joe and Sharif's opinion there because crypto was tanking during the meeting, but then right back up now into 117.8. And
any dips, Joe? Oh, so he's long.
No. He didn't buy dips, not there yesterday, but he was going long before that play. So he's got a good price there. And honestly, man, I mean, I logged into my crypto account today and it's at all-time highs. And most of that has nothing to do with these top two ones right here. It has to do with Solana being up 5%. It has to do with Cardano being up 5 or 6%. And then it has to do with Ripple being up 3%. So it's actually the other three big ones right now. And BNB you can include in that too. So right now it's a little bit of an altcoin kind of a run up right here. And then hopefully Bitcoin and Ethereum will follow suit. So I'm long crypto, for the last 10 years or so. So we continue to support that. And that's been definitely a game changer right there. What's up, Silverado Blue? You are welcome for all of the help. And I mean, we love our audience so much. Let's just figure out who's here, who's not here. Let's do a little bit of a roll call right now. Let me know if you guys are up, down on the day. Let's say some highs here and let's wave. So I'm going to find this one. There's a wave right here. Let me wave to everybody and see who's out here right now for us. And I can say hi to you guys as we go. What's Darth Traders here? Trey Only is here. Good. Darwin. What's up, Darwin? Glad to see you again. Yo, Jin, what up? What up, Jin? There he is. Hello. What up, my guy? Right there. Alex is here. Party P is here. Yo, Katina, man. But it's C-A-T-E-N-A. But I like it right there. Thank you so much for that. It's not the cantina that all you Italians have in your basement. What's up to T? What's up? What's up to Why Not? What's up to Jimmy here? Hack you. Silverado Blue. I think we already said what's up to you as well. Gworev is here as well. Anurag, I remember you, Anurag. Hi, Anurag. A Day in the Life is here. Inder is here. Everybody is in the building one more time. And if you are, yo, Mike P. DeRider, the guy that's here all day with us, including our after show where today we'll have FedEx earnings coming through. So hello to everybody out there. And hopefully you guys are having some of these trades here today. Similarly to what Neil and I have been putting on. I am not, however, green today, but hopefully you guys are, and NVIDIA is trying to help it go back up to the upside, but not a green day for me yet. We'll wait to see what winds up happening here with NVDA.
Way too early, way too early. If I was up the amount that I'm down, then I wouldn't say anything, but I'm 1 for 3.
Okay.
But the biggest miss,
couple red days.
Rigetti. Definitely Rigetti. When they released at 23.4, when I say they, you know what I'm talking about. There was some selling up at that price. I say they, market makers, whatever it might be, whoever was selling up there. It absolutely went catatonic and missed the breakout price. It's trying to pull back into VWAP, but remember, Rigetti, the only thing Rigetti has different from INQ and the others is it was the one that was freshly making the high today. That's all. When you look at that deal that they signed, $7 billion market cap, which is now bigger than $7 billion, because that would have been yesterday probably. So $7 billion market cap, the deal, the 3-year deal, 5 point something million, $7 billion market cap. So remember, this is a momentum play. It's a momentum move. No one ever went broke taking profits. So keep that in mind, whether it's, like you're not, like you're buying dips in NVIDIA. It's not the same thing as, buying dips in Rigetti. Like I own some QTBS. I'll say that candidly because I own some QBTS, but like that's like a shot play. Like I know what I'm getting into with that stock. So know what you're getting into with Rigetti or Open Door as well. Like that falls right in the same category. Open back to VWAP. I'm going to respect the fact that 1035 to 1045 was a big sell, and that's where we got dumped last time. So if it gets there, I'm going to take this one out and look for the next move as we go back to Adara at the desk, who's got more for us.
Be aware here, Keir Starmer and Donald Trump, that would be the Prime Minister of the UK and the US President, respectively, they are now taking questions at the press conference. Keir Starmer said he's going to take the first 3, then he'll move it over to Donald Trump. So I'll let you guys know when Trump's question period begins. Just check the position board there. I'll have that headline up. But be aware, when Trump talks, the market can and often does react. Back to you.
Yes, it can.
And yeah, you guys want to talk about grab a little bit? We could definitely do that. But there goes, NVIDIA right now $1.30 in the money. And we said this was going sort of meme crazy. And I think that's exactly what it's doing. We just got 175.60s right there. So, oh man, it just continues to be a fun time here. Let's check out some grab, and whoopsies, I just hit my mouse to go a little slower there. GRAB, so Grab Holdings now coming into play here. This is not Grab Hub, Grubhub, Grab. We'll figure this out. 650. Wow, nice little move there. This is obviously a continuation play from before. You know, breaking through now. I don't know anything about this name, GRAB. Let's just look it up together, what the news is here on GRAB. We have our Benzinga Pro platform here. We're going to go into Grab, and we're going to find out maybe what this news is over the last couple of days. Target rate 650 from 550. Bank of America hold rating, so it looks like it's so far so good here. Trading lower. I don't really see any major announcements. That's from yesterday. I think it feels like it was maybe the day before on this name, but yeah, I don't know. Still going to the upside right here for Grab. And if we're going to look at what we're doing here, float of lots of float here. 3 billion it says is the float. Short float 5%, so not huge on this name. Some of its comparables, Uber. This is Grab, right? Uber, Lyft, Car, and Hertz. So I don't know this company right here, but there it goes up into the upside right now. Bulls say demonstrated robust growth across its core segments. GMV, I don't even know anything about this. Mobility delivery services as well. So Grab provides ride-sharing services, food and grocery delivery. Grab? Okay. Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia. Okay, so it's an Asian.
Well, that's why we don't know.
Uber, basically. I don't know if it's, I don't want to ever say it's Uber, but I mean, they're comparing it right here to Uber. So there it goes, man.
That's how you know Uber's the one.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, just...
it's like saying Kleenex, right?
It's the peers.
It's the brand.
Yeah, exactly, so J&J. But, all right, man, good look there on Grab as it continues to grab our attention. Up right here, 6% and getting higher, so let's go. Grab is the Uber of Asia. There you go. Thank you, John M., for all of that. All right, Adara?
Be aware here, it looks like NVIDIA and Intel are actually holding a press conference on this investment that is set to start, as far as I can tell, at 1 p.m. Eastern. So that's what's going to be happening there. Also, we do have commentary coming from Ming-Chi Kuo, that is the noted Apple supply chain analyst, on NVIDIA and Intel in that deal. He said, amongst other things, that the partnership could, quote, define and accelerate the AI PC landscape, that there's significant synergistic potential. And then he also talked about the role that TSMC, or Taiwan Semi, could play here, because they're in the leading edge position and their AI chip orders will remain intact. So interesting note there from Ming-Chi Kuo. Again, it looks like 1 p.m. Eastern for that NVIDIA Intel joint press conference. If I get more details on that, I will let you know. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adara. So Intel's trying to get back up. It just bounced off VWAP. It got to 60. We took that 50 break. It just tagged 65. I'm offering 75, and then 32 is the ultimate example. But Danielle in the chat here, not just Uber, Grab is a lifestyle brand. You want it, you go on Grab and get it. Okay, I'm not sure exactly what's meant by that. So obviously you can do, it's more than just ride sharing. I'm not sure what lifestyle brand means, but in this particular context, but sounds pretty cool. I was just not aware of it. I remember when I was in Budapest, I downloaded this Bolt app. I'd never heard of Bolt, and apparently it's a thing in Europe. So we say Uber because Uber is the standard, and that's why we like them. So Intel's trying to go, come on Open. Open's trying to go as well. It just took out the volume weighted average price, but try to keep in mind with Open as I zoom out here. This is the area, this is the calm area yesterday, in between 990 and 1030. The crazy area is outside of those two bands. So if it loses the bottom, I think this thing drops like 5%, needless to say. So I want this holding on to the volume weighted average price here. If it can do that, want to reload buying higher lows and then see how far this one can go. Duke, Tesla is not over 430. It keeps on failing. See, here's when it cannot, the only time it broke 430 was right at the open for probably a few seconds. And then you're seeing this just over and over fail in front of 430 bucks. The last push got it to 29.67. So I can confirm for you that there hasn't been a print over 430 at all. Yeah, so I like this one. I want this one to go, but it doesn't seem to want to break yet.
What a move today. What a stock market. There it is, man. We called yesterday when the market was flat at the close that this could be a 2% day for the Nasdaq. So maybe we'll be right. And if we are, then we might as well hold on. We are now almost $2 in the money right now. I know Neil enjoys a good fruit salad, but hopefully you guys enjoy $2 because there it goes right now to the upside as NVIDIA pumping. I mean, it was going meme crazy a couple dollars ago. We stayed in this name and grabbed it. grab it down there. And we talked about this break much before it happened. It was the break of VWAP. So we took it when it was there. We had to hold it against us like 5 or 10 cents. Remember we talked about the risk associated with this trade was 25 cents. So it's now in the money $1.90. So there we go. Starting to go back up to the upside. Bear Cave coming out with a DraftKings short report right there. So we'll see if that affects this name at all. But nothing is right now. This is unabated to the quarterback here, Micah Parsons style. As we go right to the upside right now for NVIDIA, it is now officially your $2 club right there now. As we take it off VWAP, we give ourselves 25 cents. This is a 9-to-1 right there, and we gave that sort of ratio to you that we were going to get out at 25 cents. Obviously, I wish I would still have the full boat of this. We have 15% left. So there it goes. I don't know why Grab is going, man. We talked about that. It could be, we got some news yesterday from Lyft. Uber was not great. It did have that move up to $100 and then faded a little bit there yesterday. You know, you can see this big push down, whoosh, right there as Lyft makes a deal with Waymo going into Nashville yesterday. But yeah, I still like Uber. It's a stock that's in the account and probably never to come out. So yeah, you know,
that's a forever hold. I haven't bought it.
I mean, everything I own now is a forever hold, except for Intel. I want to get out of Intel.
The one thing I remember about Uber was selling a little bit when it got the inclusion to the index, and then after that saying, yeah, now we're done. We just hold forever and look for maybe places to dip by. But it never. That was one of the stocks that I think just didn't quite get there. And if you're a little bit too patient, you don't actually get what you want. Really, 200 period, get there.
It Google just.
Yeah, this was one of those. Yeah, exactly. It did not pull back. The last time it lost a 50 period here, it just did not give a bit of a dip into 77 or 80. I remember it being like, if it loses the 50, I'm buying the 200, and it lost the 50, and then 2 days later, it was back above the 50 and making fresh highs. So that's what happens to strong stocks. Weak stocks, or not weak stocks, small cap stocks, when they lose bids can be nasty. Opener's trying to hold VWAP in here, but if it doesn't hold VWAP, I can jump out. Only want this one buying dips and upward trending, ideally. That's a breakout trade fail. Trend trade loses VWAP. I want to jump out of it here on Open Door. But Intel's still going to the upside. But it's Open Door. That's the one that has to concern me a little bit here because it's starting to come back in.
Too many shares out there, but that's okay. Google, okay, we reloaded right there on Google. It just spiked into 50. Like, we got 35s. I put a bunch of shares at 50. I actually put too many there at 50. So fine. Yeah, we still got it, man. It's 20. Well, whatever. Maybe that 50. Maybe that's a blessing right there that we're able to get out of more than I thought right there at 50. But there it goes right now for Google. We did do that reload there. It was a little bit of a keystroke error. Put an extra 0 where I didn't mean to. So all right, we got. I mean, a bit of a keystroke error. When you're adding zeros, man, you're making those errors. But okay, good. So now I'm happy that we did that because here comes Google back down. Like as if I haven't learned my lesson. We're going to go 2 for 3 today, trading PayPal and trading. I mean, NVIDIA's the big one, but there's PayPal, man. We were initially long at 69. We made money there before it fell through. So PayPal we're still green on, but yeah, to hold that 68.40, that was a great level down there, 68.50. I wonder what that's coming in from, but there it goes. Let's just zoom back out just to see why that bounced.
A couple of people are asking about this halt stock, which has been halted since 9:30. BREA, it does say volatility halt, like LUPD is a volatility halt, and it's been halted for over an hour now. My guess is this is an issue with liquidity. It did 70,000 shares before it halted, and that's about it. It is possible for stocks to halt longer than 5 or 10 minutes. It's not normal, but it is certainly possible for volatility reasons. Funware did it on the crazy DWAC day, and they halted it for like 2 hours or something. That one, I don't think they had the excuse of liquidity, but that's my personal opinion. I think there were some shenanigans that day, but I think the stock is so incredibly illiquid that they can't figure out how to open it in an orderly fashion. The tap is $18, and it halted at $8.70. So that's my guess. It'll likely eventually open, but yeah, just always be careful with those. You can just go to that Nasdaq. There's a Nasdaq site for trade halts. and you can confirm what the reason is. We don't mind showing to you and I'll always answer the question, but you can always look that up. It's a good site to keep bookmarked if you trade those kind of tickers.
Yeah, I was just looking up. I found my Maple Leaf tickets here. I had to go into the account manager. Okay, so yeah, I guess, you know, we can sit here and complain about things, and then there it goes again here for Google. So it just breaks lower. So okay, accidental win there really on Google, but we didn't make back. We were already down on Google there today, but there it goes breaking lower into that level again. So NVIDIA, I mean, we were hitting the register up there. We told you we only had 15% left. We got another piece out there at 176 and change again there for NVIDIA. So I'm gonna put another piece right here at 69er and see about getting out right there as well. Let's just check back in on DraftKings. We gave you that short report there. It's not doing anything off of that report, but maybe it's worth holding on in case it gets some coverage. 43.10 or so.
What about the other way?
What was there another?
Well, I'm always thinking when there's a short report, if a stock gets a short report and doesn't break the low of the day, you know why they put those reports out and the timing of how you do it. If it holds the bottom, well, there's usually a chance to get a bit of a break. Well, it was 2 years ago on Block.
Right.
They put a short report out. Block held the bid similar to this. Like you look at a 15-minute, they went down, but it held like a recent low. And then next thing you know, it was like the greatest, well, not the greatest, but it was like the easiest swing trade because whomever initiated the short position needed to get out of it because they didn't get what they wanted.
Yep.
So you try it, it doesn't break the low of the day today, and then you're long DraftKings at the close or tomorrow morning. That's a play I like. It worked on Block. It might have been 3 years ago, but I remember that distinctly. So, and I have nothing against short reports, but they do provide volatility and opportunities out there. They do what they do, and we can take advantage, you know, when they get it wrong. That's the best way to put it. Definitely take advantage when they get it wrong. And in this particular case, I haven't read the report. I don't know the reasons that they're stating here, but unless you're talking about like fraud and accounting issues, then I don't care. I tend to just want to trade the action. I'll stay away if there seems like some actual impropriety, but if it's nothing like that, I'll play any trade as long as it can hold that low today.
All right, yeah, all good on DraftKings front. It's not doing anything, so that's why I was thinking like maybe short it, that maybe we get a report at some point. Well, we already got it, but maybe that'll be something that eventually kicks through right here. Here, you know, instead of just pulling that out, let me just throw this out to show you guys what exactly the story is here. It's very, very easy to read. The Bear Cave issues short report titled Problems at DraftKings. You can go read this here, Bear Cave Substack, go find it, and you can see what they're talking about there at DKNG. It's probably just, their costs are probably out of control. All right. Yeah, I would assume so, because how much content costs now, I can only imagine how much advertising costs. But there's Amazon right there at the 200 period moving average. So I think if you were thinking red today, this is not a horrible area to short. I think we might turn around and try that short right now on Amazon. So let's do it. There we go. We'll get an 02. The high of the day there for Amazon. I mean, we can give this to 50, but I mean, it would be dead wrong if it gets up to that level. So let's give it now. Okay, well, there's a nice little short. We just put it on. We'll see if we can capture, just real quick, if we can capture 20 cents on this trade. Again, just put it on. There it goes. Oh, no, we did not get it. My bad. We're waiting. There it is. We get it right there. There it is, Neil. There's a face slapper right there. It's only 20 cents, so hopefully this will go down just a little bit more, and we'll be able to reap said benefits of this Amazon short. But there it goes. Nice little downside play there off the 200 period moving average. What's up, A?
Yeah, we're going to take a look here. This is going to be sector watch, and let's look at these sectors. We do have obviously some strength in the Nasdaq and the S&P 500, but what's interesting here is that even if we have some really red tech names like AMD down 3%, Oracle, Apple also relatively weak, we have enough strength that it more than makes up for it. Case in point, we've got KLAC here, KLA Incorporated. This is up about 8%. Intel, of course, on its NVDA deal, up 27%. NVIDIA up about 3%. Palantir up 3%. If you go down to tech services, Synopsys up 10%. CrowdStrike up 10%. So lots of strength in tech that it even overwhelms the weakness specifically in some of these non-NVIDIA and Intel chip names. Finance also really strong. Blackstone and KKR notably to the upside. Producer manufacturing, again, a lot of chip-related names on watch here. LRCX and AMAT. Transportation to the upside. Uber leading the way here, as well as DoorDash, and consumer durables lightly green as well. So long story short, even though there are some names that are decent sized market caps that are weak, the strength more than overcomes that. One other red sector I want to mention quickly as well, consumer non-durable struggling a bit here, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, consumer non-durables not looking good. Oh, okay, well, I'm going to go to Intel first because Open Door just got back to the price that it dumped at this morning, so I took it out because but Intel's holding this consolidation. It's a really, I have to zoom way in because Intel, when it goes 30-something%, like that candle's kind of crazy. But that 3150 break is holding this prior level. I think this is a scalp trade in here. Like you got VWAP support is at 3112. That's like a point down. So now get out of a trade and look for it to hold VWAP. But as long as it consolidates in this 20-cent range, we scalped the 20-cent range a couple times. And if it breaks down, I'm going to get out. But it's Open Door that just came right back into where the breakout failed, and lost VWAP. So we're out looking for VWAP to hold, or we just take another break. Remember, it's at $11 that I think. It's like I don't know where anybody is shorting the stock because I'm not shorting it, but you would presume like 11 would be a pretty big break here. I think there's going to be some stops at $11, but there's some resistance here in the 30 to 40 range first before you even get there. So I want buyers above 40. Then I would join somewhere other than 10 or the volume weighted average price. I want to stick with Open. A good volume, not as good as it usually is. 100 million shares on Open Door. We've seen it by this time of the day be 2, 3, sometimes even 400 million. So it's not quite as crazy as the last couple of sessions. And just a quick update on, was it NTSK Netscope?
Netscope, yep.
Yeah, Netscope. I'm seeing 23.75. So it was as high as 26, down to 25.
What?
Now
It's going the other way?
It's going down. Netscope. 200,000 to buy. 1.7 million open interest is not bad at all, but the price is going down, which to me is the wrong way in terms of hype. Well, I'm not as hyped about Netscope as I was. Well, I guess I wasn't all that hyped to begin with.
All right, well, we're very, very hyped right now because what props it up, I mean, we took this trade live. So like everybody that sits there and is like wondering about the kind of trades that I'm making or anything like that, or Neil, like we took this live with you guys, or I took it, I don't know if you guys took it, but with everybody watching right there. We talked about Amazon. I said, if we think this market is going to continue to go down, let's try Amazon right here, right now. So there's the play right there, man, 232 short. So let's go. Right now we're out of half, and it's 55 cents in the money. So we only slip up one time today, and that was on Google right here early. Made money back. This one flat. You guys heard me. That was, I mean, you know, like, we talked about that was very, very lucky that we're able to get out of that because I made a keystroke error right there. And then now it's falling back in, and there goes Amazon right now. Now 62 cents in the money right there. Let's put a bid on this level and see if we can get a little bit out. I mean, we could bounce off of the 50-period moving average right there. So, yeah, good job, Party P. What's up, man? Pushing P right here. Nice move there. You're in at 230 puts. Congratulations, but still got to get lower, man. We'll wait to see, bang, if it does get to that level. I don't know. Like I said, all I can do is put on trades for you and try to explain my rationale there, and I think we did that here today. So, yeah, we're going to go. I know we were both saying that we were red, but I'm still going to be. This is why I think share size is so important. I'm going to be 3 for 4, but red on the day because we swang on Google. Right, so hopefully you guys are able to be some Greensville there today. I do like Tesla. You know, we've talked about Tesla over and over again. It wasn't like a huge trade or anything today. I don't.
By the way, Tesla just failed a 430 break.
That's what I was.
It was still. It depends on your style of trade, but it broke. At least we had this candle to tell us what to. Well, tell me what to do. I say us a lot, but you know what I mean. The opening break of 430 failed right here at 431.5. So I was scalping out in front of 431, and I like to get out of a break. If it doesn't work right away, I'm just going to jump out of it. So it'll at least be green, but I still like this long. So VWAP is in play. A close above 430 is in play. A break of the I mean, the overnight high is deceiving, but like the pre-market high of 433, I'd rather not be involved in that. I'm looking VWAP, or maybe just some buyers above 430 holding, and we take it a second time here, because Tesla, I put in the bucket yesterday if we broke out that level from the Fed, and then we consolidated and held it all afternoon. So therefore, prefer the long trade on Tesla. So I want to stick with that notion. Maybe jump back into the 30s if we can't get the volume weighted average price. I mentioned we were getting out of open door. That's actually still holding up fairly well at that 1030 level. So it's not trying to get me back in at VWAP. And I am still willing to take another breakout here with open door. I took the breakout the first time, but if it's above that open range price of about 1040 and taking out this local high at 45, I'm going to take another breakout as we go to Adara. Trump talking on the TikTok deal hasn't been helping Oracle. Adara?
Just be aware here, Donald Trump's talking about TikTok. He said you're going to have a lot of very unhappy youth, quote unquote, if this TikTok deal doesn't go through. The question he was asked was actually if the algorithm will be kept. He hasn't commented on the algorithm aspect of this at all. But either way, Donald Trump commenting on TikTok, they're going to talk about that when he speaks to Xi on Friday, which is, of course, tomorrow. And the U.S. administration, as I mentioned earlier, has confirmed that call is going to be at 9 a.m. Eastern. Back to you.
Yeah, that was the big contention yesterday, was
30 ounces.
Getting the algo in.
Oh, Sharif, nice color, my guy. Yeah, I thought they were getting the algo. I mean,
that's what was said yesterday.
I have no idea really anymore what's going on here. He says they're close to a deal with China, maybe an extension coming on the China. I don't even know what the deadlines are anymore. So who knows?
Nobody knows. They just keep moving them.
I don't think anybody
If you just keep moving the goalposts, it's fine.
Yeah, I think that.
I remember. I'll never forget when they actually had to hold the goalposts together when we were at that Buffalo game. Oh, wait a minute. That was the one we went to. Right? I was at the Wynn game. Were you there with me?
Which one?
There was a game where the wind was so bad at the Bills game.
Yeah, it was like hard to cross that bridge.
They had to bring a crew out to literally tie down and hold the goalpost in place when they were kicking field goals. It was the wildest thing you've ever seen.
I'm not sure.
People were trying to punt. You couldn't throw a pass. Yeah. Like there was like negative punts. You were pretty sure didn't we go like myself, Rebecca, and you and Marissa?
I think so, because I think we were really nervous crossing that bridge.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was.
They should have closed the bridge that day.
Yeah. I think there was definitely something.
Somebody screwed up big time. I actually think the tractor trailer went over. Anyways, not over the bridge, but overturned.
This Oasis t-shirt. What's up, Roger Noonan? This is just a concert shirt. But what you're talking about, the infamous cheating couple, was Coldplay.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So it was not Oasis, but that was you've never seen so many 35 to 50-year-olds just going crazy, me included, at that Oasis concert. That was. For me, concerts are greater than sporting events, in my opinion, to go to. I don't even think it's close, but I think that experiencing more and more things is what it's all about, which is why I was really surprised about StubHub yesterday. I'm not surprised. I mean, we were short and nailed this short.
There's a lot of
honestly.
competition, though.
It's just I thought I just thought it would have been better received, and it's not at all there for StubHub. So this is going to be a name that I feel almost like there's going to be great opportunities to trade this lower, buying, almost like what happened to a Firm or some of those other names here, where even a PayPal that got real low and then was able to buy back up. I wonder about StubHub. I don't know if they're eventually, now that they're public like this, if they could be bought out by a Live Nation. Will that even be allowed to do something like that?
I think that would be the only concern.
Yeah, I'm just spitballing here because I'm trying to give some ideas to everybody, or maybe I don't think. I mean, it's so early. I don't know if any of that would ever get approved, or I don't even know who owns Ticketmaster. Are they a public entity? I don't think so. So there's lots of stuff going on. Game Time. I have 4 apps on mine: Game Time, SeatGeek, StubHub, and Ticketmaster.
I only have Ticketmaster and SeatGeek, but
I do.
Game Time.
I got the Game Time app as well.
Mainly, what do you use them for?
Nothing. The only apps I've ever bought off of or sold on is StubHub and Ticketmaster, but I just like to look over there to see, because they're in U.S. prices. That's the other problem with SeatGeek and Game Time. There's not even, you have to convert it yourself, so you automatically get dinged from the bank, which is a problem. So I actually am that crazy about that. Like, I'll do the math, like I'll do the conversion, and I'll be like, oh, it's $5 cheaper on StubHub. I'll still go there. Yeah. So it's still very price sensitive to all of that. But with only 10 minutes left, we might as well do something right now. All right, without even looking, I'm gonna say, okay, you know what we haven't had in a long time? I don't even know if we've ever had it with these guys. Burgers. But then I was just thinking because we were talking about it all yesterday.
Caterer doesn't do burgers, man.
Yeah, so all right.
They said they don't do burgers.
It's Thursday, so I'm gonna root for chicken wings.
I'm hoping for assorted sandwiches.
Sandwiches would be great, man. I told Marissa my favorite food group is sandwiches. Okay.
Brisket.
Oh shit.
Always.
I mean, oh no.
Sandwiches.
What the hell is it doing being blackened tilapia again? It is blackened tilapia. Okay. What's the caterer's number? Like, it's blackened tilapia with roasted potatoes, seasoned vegetables, and chef's choice salad, man. There must be some garbage feeding fish sale that's on right now because this tilapia is getting to be a little bit much for me. But last time they threw down tuna for your boy. So I was happy with it.
They just turned the market too on that.
What's up, Jag? Yeah.
No, once a week we are getting that. It's like,
I'm not feeling well. I come in for everybody over here, and then now we get blackened tilapia? What is this? Oh, man.
Anyway,
okay.
Before we throw back over, I think we're going to Adara for like Money Talks in a second, but before we do that, I took the break again. I'm going to take almost every single breakout about it. I want this squeeze. I don't want to miss out on the opportunity on this stock after what I saw a couple times yesterday. Like, I had a couple of scalp trades yesterday in open that were pretty good, and I don't mind taking these trend breaks, but I also want this one if it squeezed into 11. I'm not looking for the 11 break. I'm looking to be long when it gets to 11. If it gets to 11 and I'm not long into it, then I consider that a fail regardless of how the day is gone. And I want inventory into that $11, but it just lost the trend line, so I took the breakout and then gave my stop to the trend line. Sometimes I'd short the trend line. In this case, I use the trend line as my out. I'm always going to have an out on open door, but I'm still looking for the long. Maybe we get VWAP here. I know we're supposed to go to Adara for the Money Talks. Yeah, I get to it eventually.
This is Money Talks. Yeah, let's take a look here at the U.S. dollar. It's wild. We actually made a new low of year yesterday at our day's lows on the U.S. dollar. Now, of course, the dollar is moving around because we did have the rate decision. This rate decision, as expected, 25 basis point cut yesterday came through for the U.S. Now, this was not a unanimous decision for the second meeting in a row. We actually did have a dissenting vote. This time, it came from new Fed Stephen Myron, who actually voted for a 50 basis point cut. So Fed's Myron voting for a larger cut than the rest of the group. Either way, we still did end up getting that rate cut, which again did come through there at 25 basis points. We don't have any economic data tomorrow, so there's not a lot left here this week for the U.S. dollar, except for later today at 1 p.m. we're getting the 10-year TIPS auction. So keep an eye on the 10-year TIPS auction. Other than that, not a ton for the USD for the rest of the week. Now, let's look here at the CME FedWatch tool going forward. We are expecting a 25 basis point cut at the next meeting, but here's where it gets interesting. There are still about 12.5% of participants who are expecting no cut at this meeting. We know that there's a really mixed take there from Fed officials when we looked at the dot plot in terms of what the rates are going to be going forward. On average, they were expecting another 25 basis points of cuts, which is mostly being interpreted as a 25 basis point cut at the November meeting and then another 25 basis points going forward to December. We'll have to see if that's how it manifests, but based on the CME FedWatch tool right now, seems like that could very well be the case. Back to you.
Oh, what's that up today?
No, I was just looking at my account here. I'm like, I still have a lot of Berkshire, so I need to get that going. It's not doing too much. I was actually looking to see that Intel position now in my account up 54% right now on Intel. So we'll go figure out what's going on over there. I mean, that's not, like I said, we've given, okay, well, no, it's a little, actually, this Intel over here, but this is DraftKings. So DraftKings off that short report, not doing anything. I did want to check back in on that. And Intel right now, okay, still 26%. Let's see if we can get a little bit higher on that one right now. and get out. So that's what I was actually checking the account. And what I was checking the account to was for Marvell, because I really like this name. But it's now back to a break-even level off earnings, let alone dip buy opportunities right there that we made. I really love, and I just looked at my LULU position is still down. I just looked 13.5%. We didn't necessarily buy a whole bunch of LULU, but LULU went DLULU as it went through 200 all the way down to 160. Now bouncing a little bit today. I'm not sure what that story is on Lululemon, but it was bouncing a little bit.
It was,
earlier.
you know what? It ended up being
nothing. I think
partnership with Amex.
Okay,
it was like an Amex partnership deal.
I got my daughter got me a pair of LULU pants yesterday because she goes, I'm actually wearing some right now as well. So the quality of the clothing, it is obviously it's expensive. And I think that's the problem with it moving down. But I've never worn more comfortable clothing. All right, so that's why I continue to do it, right? All right, Amazon. So just to talk a bit, I have 35% left of this trade. When it came back into that 50-period moving average, there's only so much you can expect from a stock. So, getting that out there, I still really love Amazon. That's another strong stock in the market. Someone just asked there on the chat, is there a name that is a dip buy opportunity? I really like Amazon. I really like Apple. They're not necessarily dip buying. My number one dip buy opportunity is $10 lower. I would love Alibaba. And the fact that it's down 2%, I may buy some today. I like this name anywhere on a down.
Baba's down 10%. Oh, no.
No, it's down 2%. If it goes down $10. My bid is at 152. I put it there 2 days ago. And then it opened at 152 was the previous day's close, but it opened at 155 and took off. So we never even came close to getting that fill. Or, and this is just my opinion, up to you guys, not financial advice, Tencent, TCEHY. I own Baba already. I do not own Tencent. Okay, again, another down 3%. Okay, good. So we're getting closer to maybe dip buying in some of these Chinese names. I do have bids in there that are good till tomorrow. So we'll see if we get filled. And I'll tell you all day if and when we get filled. And then JP Morgan was the other reason why I was checking the old account up right there, because we're long at 230 on this name. We're almost $100 in the money on JP Morgan. And it's, I don't want to sell the best of breed. I don't want to sell the best names. But honestly, it's just maybe the market's due for a little bit of a pullback off of that quarter point. I don't know. I don't really want to sell anything, to be honest with you. I try to make the right plays, and I never know what they are. So I told you, every time you sell something, it goes higher, right? Like, I sold Palantir at 160, it's at 175.
That's just part of the game. Like you're selling because it's done so well, and then you look back a couple of days later or a couple of weeks later. I know I was thinking I was going to get something special on dip buy in G Vernova, and that flat out didn't happen. Like I was one of those, okay, I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell it in front of, like, it consolidated that high. When it broke down here, I'm like, that's an easy sell. Take some out.
You know what? That might be a buy right now, actually.
Buy back in. But I sold, let's see, like I sold 10% at right in around here, like 630 high, whatever the price I got. And if I buy the 50 period, I'm getting it back in at 616. When I could have just bought, like I could have bought down here under $600. I was thinking it was going to go even further. But that's, you sell a quality company, that's the risk. Overall, good companies only go to the up, for the long run, go to the upside. But I do want to get to that. That stock opened up again. And so for anyone that happens to be looking at it, this BREA, it opened up, halted instantly, and did an extra couple 100,000 shares in volume before halting to the upside again at $18. So suffice to say, this is probably not the kind of thing that most day traders are going to be involved with, certainly not shorting unless you got a death wish. To each their own, but no volume whatsoever. It halted almost instantaneously to the upside again. And before we throw you guys to the midday, because it's past 11 o'clock, Netscape, I just said Netscape again.
All good.
Oh, goodness. I'm going to be doing Netscope is still $23.75, the indicative open price. The issue was at $19. Its initial indicated open was 26. It's now down to 23.75, but there's 2 million of interest. So there's going to be some liquidity on it, but I don't remember the last one we saw where the price has been consistently going down in terms of the indicated open. So maybe if that starts creeping up again, it'll look a little bit better. So we'll see you guys back at 2 o'clock. I know you're going off to the gym, and we'll throw you to Joey Options and Sharif, the professor.